Debate, Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere, and there's also a Ko-Fi, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patreons, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon. So a massive shout of thanks and appreciation to Smith Tools and Purchase, Level Playing Poem, Vitali Z, Colton James, BG, Survive the Spin, FE Patriot, Thomas van der Zander, Gary Hughes, Measured Flat, Chris Wouters, Sea Level Cultist, Mitch Kennedy, Rod the Name's Burley, Twadwazzle, Jason Hornsby, Christoph Fournier, Flat Earth Travolta, JMels24, Unimento, Iron26, Endless, Gold McKinnon, Retro Bill, Michael Kahn, John Kays, Patrick Gunnels, Banter, Hairy Blade, Mobile Max 777, Rob W, Dal West Watson, Unbelievable Productions, Blue Ridge Ranger, Abraham Mohammed, Skeptic 936, Texas Mike, Chow Yun Cat, David Wayne Foster, and Dank. So another massive thank you to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Now I will hand across to whoever is in Discord and Google so you can enjoy their dulcet tones while I set up for today's live show. I don't know what you mean. What's a bounce house?
Like for kids' parties and stuff, the little air inflatable bouncy house.
Saying the Discord server's a metaphorical bouncy house.
Yes, this is my personal space. I'm doing cartwheels at the moment.
Oh, I see what you mean. What you mean is there's no one there. I've only just started. How long have you been in there?
About a minute.
Oh, there you go, you see. You know roughly the time I start getting here. You just happen to be the first one here.
So you got a date on that book yet? We doing pre-orders or what?
I don't want to take pre-orders yet. I can't even remember. I've just got an update from Adam, actually. Chapter 6 is where we're up to now. I think there's 14 chapters altogether. We're coming up on halfway through the editing process, which has taken all of this year so far. So, what
Have we
in the
really
fifth
been
month?
working on it for 18 months?
So it should be ready by next Christmas.
Jesus Christ.
No blasphemy, please.
Muslim Jesus or whatever is big in Birmingham.
Whatever's big in Birmingham. Not actually in Birmingham. I'm in Coventry. I'm not even in
Whatever.
Coventry, I'm
It's
in
all
Warwickshire.
still Harry Potter
I don't know
land.
why I said that. I was in Coventry yesterday. I'm not in Coventry. Anyway. That's not where I am. Ian, where are you?
I'm here in Dallas, Texas, and right now we have a huge problem. Well, not a problem, but on the news, people are buying abandoned churches and turning them into Muslim churches. I don't know what mosque or temples. I don't know,
What's wrong
but
with
they're
that?
like buying them up left and right and just trying to do it on purpose, you know.
We
And
do it on
us
purpose.
honky tonky
What's wrong with that?
Texans.
I don't really understand the problem.
It's Texas, gun-toting Texas,
Why is that a problem?
because we're kind of racist, you know.
Oh, I see. I mean, it's a building. I mean, I don't know about Muslims specifically, but certainly for Christians, the building's not that important, right? The church is the people, and it's not about the building necessarily at all. So if they're getting all precious about their buildings, you're like, it's not really about the building. You know what I mean?
Well, actually, they just had a actual city proposed that will be, I don't know how many square feet mile or something like that, but it's to be a whole city where they can practice Sharia law, whatever the hell that is. It's called Epic City. They're going to have their own city and they can practice Sharia law, whatever that is.
Okay, well, I don't have an opinion on that.
I bet you have a colorful one.
I don't have an opinion on it. As for the appropriation of buildings to worship in, I would say that if I was a Muslim and I was looking for a building and I found a church, a formerly Christian building of worship, I'd be like, this is perfect. I'll use this. Like, why not?
I think just yesterday they passed a bill, Governor of Texas, where Russian and Chinese cannot own land or something like that.
Well, whatever. Own anything. It's just these concepts are just crazy notions, and then arguing about what within these concepts of us owning stuff. Yeah.
Well, churches are good because you don't have to pay taxes. That's good.
Well, you mean you can be a charity? You can be a registered charity, right?
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, good for churches.
No, but I mean, the people protesting, like mayors and stuff, they're talking about some type of injustice for women, that they beat their women, that it's okay to kill Christians or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know either. Let's change the subject. Be nice to keep this video monetized.
Oh yeah, I forgot you're a Fed. You're always recording.
Yeah. Obviously.
I was talking about my brother that on the replacement problem people have. They say, well, what is the container made out of? My brother's stuck on that one. He says, well, you got to tell me what the container's made out of. I said, well, I don't know. It's just a container. He goes, so you don't know. He goes, how you gonna tell me if you don't know then?
Well, like the other
Yeah,
guys told
I
you,
don't
and
know.
they
It's like,
don't know. They said it was a sky vacuum, which is complete nonsense, and he swallowed that all right. So, do you want me to just apply the standard you used to believe in? So, you used to believe in a sky vacuum based on seeing pictures on TV. So, if I draw you a little picture and put it on the TV, will you take my word for it that that is the case? So, if I say it's made of cheese, and then draw a cartoon of it made of cheese, and then show it you on a TV screen, and say dome's made of cheese, would you accept that it was made of cheese because you saw it on the TV screen? Because that was the standard you currently accepted the sky vacuum with. So just ask them, put it back on then. What's your standard? What standard did you have to accept the sky vacuum? Am I okay to just give you that because I'm just going to make it up like they did? And you accepted that, so what's the difference? If I just make it up myself, I mean, I'm not going to like go to someone else and get their made up stuff. I'm going to make it up personally. I'll make it up myself and then provide you some bullshit standard of evidence that I can put on a TV screen to say that proves it.
yeah, that was in the video of that 10 Flat Earthers video where he said, well, you take that into practice, but you have the knowledge of the globe or something like that. But he goes, but you practice this, your house isn't going to blow away at 700 miles per hour.
I did, but now I'm slightly concerned about that. Could be taking out wind insurance. Wolf, maybe wolf insurance.
Meteor insurance.
A meteor. Now I'm not too concerned about rocks coming from the sky.
You have a greater chance of not going swimming and getting bitten by a shark than getting hit by a meteor.
I just don't think the soil or rocks in the. I don't think the sky is made of rocks or soil. I don't think it's a place that rocks or soil can come from. I disbelieve that. And unless I get
Then
given a
what is it
very,
then,
very,
Nathan?
very
What
high.
is it? Have you seen those UFOs in Canada? Boy,
No.
they're awfully colorful.
No. I've seen lights in the sky, though. I mean, my folks, when they lived in a part of the country that was the lowest light pollution of the whole country, it was very dark, obviously. And in those times, I would sit out at night and see incredible things in the dark night sky. Amazing things if there was no moon out. But those amazing sights were lights. They were not rocks. Now, you can tell me that what I saw was rocks when I saw something whizzing past the sky, but I am not convinced if you just tell me that what I saw was a rock. No, I
I
don't
actually
accept that.
saw I actually saw the what's supposedly Starlink or something like that. A few like streaming lights all in a line, a linear line going across the sky. I saw that. And what it was, I don't know, but they call it Starlink, I guess.
Sure, call it whatever you like. But the standards are high now because we've been deceived once, been told that it's a vacuum for this stuff to happen in. So anybody who's claiming that their Starlink in this case is in their sky vacuum that we know isn't real, then their standard has to go up tenfold. It's like, no, you're a proven liar. The rhetoric that suggests these things are in a sky vacuum is incorrect. It's just rhetoric. So given that I know it's not true, the standard, the higher quality has to be applied to it. Much, much, much higher standard now for me. So like, I don't have to accept any of it. That's why it hardly ever gets covered on the show. The standard's just way too high for anybody who comes here. Hence, we just don't deal with it anymore. It's like, that's the way it should be. You turn your back on liars. You don't engage them. Don't deal with them. What are they going to give you if you start dealing with them? More lies.
The only way I agree with people are saying, "Did you?" I believe that you saw something. What you saw, don't know.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of things. So what? In the sky, I just don't accept that the soil coming from there. The soil's on the ground, right? I don't accept that the gaseous emptiness is going to be providing soil or rock. Which seems stupid. So the standards are higher because those claims come from people who've said we were in a sky vacuum moving around the sun, when all of the assertions have come from flat plane measurements that are violating their calculations and beliefs in ball earths and stuff coming from sky vacuums with orbital motions attached that have also been derived from flat plane measurements. Like I say, this puts the standard so beyond attainable to anybody who comes here. And why would it be? You can't prove any stuff in a sky vacuum anymore. Then it just goes back to what I can actually see. And that's all we've got, as far as I'm concerned, from this point. And any point prior that I've mentioned evidence coming from the sky, or rocks coming from the sky in this case.
Did you guys ever get to the end of the 10 Flat Earthers video where someone just went off on that Pine Creek dude? They were saying, "You're not even here for Flat Earth. You want to know how we think." And I thought that was a badass conversation right there. Like, oh, that guy's getting on to something.
I don't know if we got to the end of it. I can't remember what that was. Don't know.
But that's a cool little thought though, that guy had. I don't know. He's not on this show, but he literally just said, "You want to see how we think." And I never thought about that. Like someone would have those intentions. Like not even think about flat Earth. He said, "You want to see how we think. You're not interested in flat Earth." He started giving it to that guy, and I thought he made a lot of sense.
I can't even remember. I don't. If you're saying we've covered them already halfway, that doesn't sound too familiar. But I'm, not exactly Mr. Short-term
No,
memory.
this was the tail end. This was the tail end of that video
Hopefully, someone will get here and
where
we'll
they
cover
actually
something.
expose a guy for being disingenuous. Go ahead.
No, I'm talking over you. I'm sorry. I'm just saying we're gonna cover something today. I'm sorry. I'm scrolling through Skype, seeing what we're gonna potentially cover.
You still have Skype?
Yeah.
It's all about Zoom now.
Starting in May, Skype will no longer be available. Continue your calls. Start using Teams. Well, I've downloaded Teams. Maybe
Team sucks ass.
maybe it's cutting off some point in May. It says starting in May. Skype will no longer be available. Maybe I should be putting it in Teams. Link, that is. Nobody's here. It's 1st of May.
I like that Google Hangouts. They still got that, or they discontinued that?
I've got Google Hangouts, but I advertise it. I'll share the link to it via Skype. Well, maybe I need to be sharing it via Teams. Let's just do that now, actually. Let's search for Teams. Microsoft Teams. It's a weird shape. I already don't like it. Don't like it. Come on, hurry up and load, teams. You're already a disappointment. Not working.
Are you running the Mac or Windows?
Windows. Well, my Teams isn't working. Now it's just getting in my way. Well, we'll come back to that. Need to ask, really. Let's ask in Skype. Does Skype still work? Oh, here we go.
What'd you say?
Let Windows apps access your location. Let Teams access your camera. Yeah, why not? No worries.
Put the shirt on, Nathan. Put the shirt on.
I've got a shirt on. Yeah, it looks like Skype's still working. Skype's still working then.
Hello?
So it's
Hello?
gonna go away in May though?
Come again?
Oh, today's May 1st, huh?
What the fuck? You can't drive?
Bloody hell, Neil. Can you mute if you're going to swear into my bloody recording the moment
Sorry,
you
I didn't know it
arrive?
was off mute.
Yeah, thanks a bunch.
You know you dropped the link in book review, not in Master B, right?
No, I didn't know that. Whoops. There's me worrying if Skype works. Yeah, it works. It's just not in there. I'll put it in the right room. Okay, well, there we go. Hopefully we'll get people joining.
Well, you gotta ask me first. This is my room, remember? I was here first.
It's not really a bouncy castle, Gene. All right? That metaphor wore thin the moment Vitali got here.
Well, Tally does not sound American.
You are racist.
No, I'm being what is it? Continentist.
Continent-ish. I don't know what that means.
I don't like people that are not from my continent.
Fair enough.
What's up, D Rose?
That guy, he said on the 10 flat earth, he goes, I like being practical. And then he goes, oh, you're going to love flat earth then.
What's up, D? Next time we're doing the books Monday, right, Neil? That's where we left off. We can't hear you, D.
Yeah, I hope so.
Mute, D.
Can't really talk.
My wife was just asking me, oh, no worries, D. When we're next doing the book. And I was like, I don't know. I think it's Monday. Monday, hun.
Okay.
Yeah, no book, so I've taken the opportunity to do a few short form videos. Like edited videos.
Oh, nice. You're getting some videos out there. Great.
Yeah, it is great.
I thought there was
There's
a nice
girl
chunk
on TikTok
accomplished.
going
Hold on,
viral.
Gene. Hold on. I
Easy
thought
now.
there was a nice chunk accomplished yesterday in reference to the book. I thought we got a lot done. That chapter may have seemed long, but I think it's a good chapter. I like it.
Yeah, I like all of them. They're all good
What's the
chapters
back?
once we're done
What's
polishing
the?
them.
Hey Nathan, what's the back of the book gonna read?
back of the book, it's going to just have a price tag and
Yeah, you know, you gotta give a little
barcode.
summary.
Picture of a sunset.
You're not gonna have a little summary.
Maybe just a reminder to maybe buy another copy for a friend or family member.
Hey, I heard somebody say it was a good idea. He said, I think we should name the book Welcome to Flat Earth.
Yeah, I thought that was
is good,
excellent
though.
too. I instantly loved that title. Yeah?
Or how about one called "Look at Your Feet"?
No, that's not a good title, Gene. That's an
Yeah,
absolutely
Gene,
awful
how
title,
about stay in
Gene.
Texas?
Or "Don't Spill Your Coffee on the Round Earth," something like that.
Equally terrible, Gene.
Yeah, but when I seen that Welcome to Flat Earth, I was like, oh shoot, that is freaking good.
Did you see my little microphone crossover video, Neil?
I haven't. I'm sorry. I've been
That's
just
all right. No,
trying to
you're
do all
working.
this.
It's all good. It's not necessarily for you, right? So it's me talking about a nice encounter with a customer buying a microphone. It's just a little anecdote about that. But for the first 5 to 6 minutes, it is squarely aimed at people who are interested in microphones only. Until about the 6-minute mark, when I drop in how Earth's flat and that there's a certain crossover between the videos. In other words, there's going to be people who see me testing some crap old microphone that they want or are interested in to crap up their sound. And then they go, oh, I wonder what else this guy does. And then they see a slightly longer video of me waffling on about microphones for 6 minutes. And then mentioning that somebody else who's interacting with me about microphones doesn't like me because I'm a flat earther. So then the story suddenly gets a little bit more interesting. There's a spin on the story for the person who's there just for microphones, right? So that has happened. I thought it would take longer. A bit. I said this yesterday, like getting a Neumann out of buying and selling microphones. I thought it would take a little bit longer for our opponents to cross over into microphones. I mean, I put so much out there, you know, putting videos with me and my links to the eBay store in my Flat Earth channel right there for my opponents to see. So the fact that someone latched onto it right quick, twice, in fact, it's not the first time same guy's done it, Arctic Reflections. You're like, this is awesome, great. The crossover begins, right? So with the help of a fellow anti-flat earther, same subject, same. We're all the same here. We're all the same subject. As much as you might think you're different because you're an anti-flat earther, you're not. But now we're bleeding into microphones. Wicked.
Excellent. That's perfect how you did that. I gotta watch that video.
Well, I've tried it with other things, right? I tried it with hi-fi, no go. Just hasn't particularly sparked
Hey,
enough interest. Go ahead.
Nathan, I'm about to buy a guitar, and I guess it has like an electronic plug-in. Is that a microphone, or do I need a standalone microphone, or what? How do I do that?
If you've got an electric guitar, you're running at a high impedance, right? So, in the same way as if you wanted to run straight into an interface with a guitar, you need something called a DI box. Well, all that's doing is taking instrument level or high impedance to something similar to microphone level, right? A DI box. You ever heard of a DI box? Well, similarly,
Is that a digital interface or what?
No, just a DI box is something that you'd use if you were going into a studio and you wanted to record your guitar. You wouldn't just plug your guitar straight into the desk, right? Well, you could, it would just sound crap. So you need something to alter the impedance, and that's called a DI box, right? Well, that box is something that allows you to record your guitar in a musical sense with an interface or a desk or something similar, right? It bridges the gap, if you will. Well, the same applies to microphones. You can buy a microphone that can plug straight into a guitar cab, like without a DI box, like a high impedance microphone, which is similar to the output of a guitar. So it depends on what you're using. When you're using a guitar and you're using it with an interface, yeah, you need a little thing to bridge the gap between those two things, called a DI box. If that's what you're asking, hopefully that's the answer.
Hopefully.
Alternatively, if you want a mic to work in your guitar cab, you probably need a high impedance microphone so that you can just plug it straight into the guitar cab and have it work.
You play guitar, Gene?
No, I'm about to.
You're about to.
You're about to learn how to play guitar,
How old are you?
and you're picking up an electric
I'm pretty
guitar
good.
first?
I'm 35. I just had a birthday. 35.
Start with an acoustic.
You know, they say sometimes it's never too long. You're never too late to learn. That's not true.
Well, I am pretty good musically inclined, so I'm pretty good at that. I just compared myself to other people and like, guys, you guys fucking suck, and but I'm pretty good. It's gonna be a 6 string because that's what's hip these days.
That's what guitars are, Gene. Bass guitars are 4 strings. Special, you got some special guitars
Like
that
a
are like
ukulele.
a 12 stringer or 13 stringer, but they're basically 6 strings, Gene.
Well, that's how new I am.
Should I be writing this down? Hold on a second. I'll just go and get a pen.
Yeah, 12 string guitar it's like, it's got a little string under each string, little thinner, little thinner, little thinner. But start out with an acoustic guitar. Don't go electric right away. Gonna hide a lot of your mistakes, electric guitar. Work on an acoustic guitar.
Yeah, I heard I can get one pretty cheap too.
Yeah, you don't want to go too cheap. You want to hear your sound. So get a decent guitar. Did everybody disappear?
Where they at? Where they at? You gotta see this new TikTok girl, man. She's talking about I think she's wearing military clothes, but she talks about what the government thinks UAPs and UFOs are. So basically, they think, or she thinks, her group, whatever the hell, they think that UFOs and UAPs are drones or instruments sent from us from the future back in time. What?
Can't travel through concepts. But yeah, DI box is pure analog. It's not like digital. It's not a D to A
So
or
it
A to
still
D.
has to go into it still has to go into something, right?
Yeah, just from your guitar into an interface.
I forgot what those things are called. I'm trying to just set it up like to an iPad GarageBand or something.
Yeah, there's a couple of ways you can get a guitar into an interface, right? One is just use a mic that's correct for the interface, and then you just record the guitar cab, right? But then the guitar cab and the guitar are one separate entity, and you're recording the sound that comes out of the guitar cab. But if you want to just plug the guitar straight into whatever the mic was going to be plugged into, that was miking the cab, you can cut out the whole mic and cab in between bit with something called a DI box or direct input.
Oh, I thought it stood for digital interface.
No. My interest in it is because there's a microphone that runs at instrument level or high impedance, high Z they call it. That I knew, but other aspects of how those impedances can vary. I mean, it's weird saying fixed impedance because impedance is something that is variable resistance. So to call it fixed is kind of a misnomer, but what I mean by that is it's not a value that has a switch that can change it somehow. Well, on microphones, they sometimes get advertised as having different impedances on the same mic, which made no sense to me till a customer who bought a cheap item explained it to me. Not that affects how a DI box works or a high Z mic, but nevertheless, it was something I didn't know that I now do, thanks to the microphones having a nice community around them. Community of people, rather.
That's crazy. You're big into microphones. I'm big into headphones. A lot of in-ears, a lot of over-ears, Audio Technicas, and Takayamis, or whatever the hell. Got a bunch of
Okay,
headphones.
cool. Now, my wife used to own a company that distributed headphones.
I only got one mic, and ever since I messed it up, I don't know what the hell happened to it. It sounds very. I can hear my own audio in the microphone itself, so I don't know what's going through. It's like a pass-through thing.
Yeah, real-time monitoring, so you can listen to the sound of your own voice, basically.
I didn't like that. I like connecting my headphones to a 3.5 jack at the bottom, and like that, you don't hear yourself or something like that. But I don't know. It's a settings or a physical settings. I don't know. Should I get a pop filter for my Yeti?
If you pop it, say position your mic. If you position your mic off axis but pointing at your mouth, so if you have it 45 degrees to your mouth, pointing at the corner of your mouth, then every explosive consonant that you could potentially put in and distort the diaphragm will blow past the diaphragm because it's pointing at your mouth at a 45-degree angle. In other words, don't speak directly at the diaphragm. This is what you want to remember. Remember good mic discipline. Point the mic at the sound, not the sound at the mic. Now, if that's a voice, don't talk into directly at the capsule. Have the capsule pointed at the sound source, so that in the case of your voice, you don't put explosives into the capsule, right? You don't want to pop your peas. But I can, in the terms of my mic and how it's set up, I haven't got a pop filter, but it's set up such that it's never going to have a gust of wind from my mouth go straight into the capsule. It's always going to go past the mic. So when I say past, doesn't matter how much air I try and put into my peas, I'm never going to pop my microphone because it just...
No, your mic just has me and D Rose sounding like Sylvester the cat.
Oh, that means
D-Rose knows what it means. Listen back to the show. It sounds like we got a lisp. You must have a setting.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've got all sorts of compressors on your line because you all come in at different volumes. So I need to mitigate for that.
It's intentional.
I mean, I don't want you to sound
Exactly,
unnatural.
D.
That's not intentional. I don't want you to sound unnatural, but by the same token, I still push the limits of compression on your line because there's no bleeding volume controls in G+. It'd be a lot easier if I could just turn you down. Especially Brian when he's here.
You sound different right now because when the show starts, you sound real tinny.
What?
Tinny is not a proper description. Nathan, how did you describe how you tell what the mic sounds like? There's certain phraseology you use.
There's only 4 words you can describe any
just
audio
sound
with,
soft.
right? There's bright, yeah, and dark, right? Now those refer to treble. Bright means trebly, lots of high frequencies. Dark means a lack of them, yeah? And then at the other end of the scale of frequencies, you've got fat, lots of bass, or thin, a lack of bass. Those are really the only words you should use to describe sound if you're going to do that. Now, if you're not going to do that, talk about a frequency. This frequency, 200 hertz, sounds like there's too much of it. So it's a bit wom. Let's get rid of that frequency. Now, everybody who's just listened to me describe that knows exactly what I'm talking about. If I say it's a bit too creamy in the midband, get lost, you stupid wanker, is what I think when someone says that.
So what, let me get this straight. So what Gene should have said was, you're kind of bright.
If you say it sounds a bit bright, that would mean you've got quite a lot of treble. Yes, Neil.
Well, it sounded like no bass, very mono.
No bass
Right.
is
He just explained it.
as opposed to fat. Lack of bass is thin.
Oh, wait. So that should have been bright and thin. Or
Yeah,
just
that
you can
means
only pick one.
Yeah, lots of treble and very little bass would be bright and thin.
Is stereo a description too? If I say you sound stereo,
I sound stereo. Stereo means you're coming out of 2 speakers, but one is varying in comparison to the other at some stage, so you can differentiate between the 2 different signals. That's what stereo means. As opposed to mono, which could come out of 2 speakers, but just both at the same time, at the same level. That's mono. This is fun.
that's why you get paid the big bucks.
No, I do not get paid the big bucks.
Okay, so can I use this Yeti to record music?
Yes, you can use any mic to record anything. I love it when people tell me that a mic is a certain type of mic. So there's a big fat mic that I want to buy at the moment, right? And when I see one, I'm like, I want to buy that mic because I want to hear what it sounds like. So I'll go to the person, like, this is my routine. Can I buy your mic for pennies? Or let's rephrase that. Can I buy your mic for a lot less than it's worth, please? Yeah? And then they might say yes occasionally, in which case I can turn a profit. The point is, I just pick things that I like, right? I want to try a big fat mic, right? Now, big fat mics get called drum mics and bass mics. And you're like, it's a mic. What do you mean bass mic? And all I hear is marketing wank. You're like, any mic can record anything that makes a sound. There's no bass mics, right? It's just
This
nonsense.
isn't a vehicle.
It's just nonsense.
This is a passenger vehicle.
What there is, right, when it comes to microphones, I'll give you a different example. Let's not use bass. Let's use a different example. Right, if you're recording a cymbal and you want it to be very airy and shimmery and, you know, all garbage words that I'm going to now make up, right? What you actually want is the ability to just record it without having to mess with it. Now, if for the sake of argument that when you use just random mic and you record a cymbal, it always sounds a bit bland and boring. And then when you turn the treble up, it sounds much better, right? Then you find a mic that's bright, in quotes, meaning it's got an elevated high-frequency response. That's all that means. What does that mean for the engineer? Well, it means that he doesn't have to turn the treble up when he records cymbals with that particular microphone. It saves him a job. Now, marketing will get hold of that and say it's a cymbal microphone. No, it bloody isn't. It's just a microphone. But the fact that it might develop a reputation for making a sound engineer's job easier when he records cymbals does not mean that it's a cymbal microphone. Likewise, when there's a big, fat, large microphone, people have got this visual idea. Well, that must mean it's got a lot of bass. No. It's just stupid. Why would you think that? There we go. I love it. It's the adenoidal actually brigade. Actually, that mic's designed to work on bass drums. No, it isn't. Get lost. You just obeyed your belief structure system when a marketing wanketeer told you that it was for recording bass. That's marketing wank.
Hey, Nathan, you would have appreciated that Z28 Camaro sound system that I was privileged to in the 1980s. Oh, this kid had a sound that he could not get in any other car. He put his same system in other cars, and it just did not sound the same.
I don't know.
I gotta tell you guys, my brother has one of the first all-electric Dodge Chargers, like 2025, and they have this system made by Flatronics. It's a outside speaker below the car that mimics the sound of a gas guzzling car at the same decibel level, 160 decibel level as a real V8 engine car.
Yeah, it's pretending
and it's pretty cool. It's made by Flatronics, so you can change the sound of the car, but it's an all-electric car.
Very good.
Showtime. Let's get it on.
On. Good afternoon. How are we all doing?
Outstanding.
Right, Discord. How are you all doing in Discord? Well, I'm glad we warmed you all up in the pre-show.
Discord gang.
This is not how it went in rehearsals. Go ahead, Brian.
That's why they're called the Peanut Gallery.
There seems to be a bit of an issue with people not understanding that you're charging for your time. I'm reading some of the comments. I left a comment there last night as well on yesterday's video. It's just like, so Nathan's time is important, but other people's time isn't. How come you're not getting this? He's been specifically asked to do something and to give up his time. He's asking to be paid for that. What is it you're not getting? That's just a normal response. Like, I got the argument, but lots of people have come to Nathan's show over the years, and have they gotten paid for their time? No, but he didn't ask them to specifically come and to specifically do anything. You know, it's an open door. So it's just, nobody wants to have to, and I'm seeing other comments where you're only worth £5 an hour, no, this kind of stuff. Like, so you should only be charging £10 for 2 hours. You know what I mean? It's like, well, forget the whole deal then at that stage, isn't it? Like, they just wanted to do it for nothing while other people make money off your back.
Yeah, I don't care what they want. That's the thing. You can't. The people I saw a couple of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they're under the. I said this in the videos though. You're delusional. So rather than, all right, you'll come on my show and I'll make my super chats and PayPals while you're here and I mute you. Because, according to them telling their audience, Nathan mutes people. That's their rhetoric currently. Until Ranty came along and destroyed it all a couple of days ago. Well done, Ranty. Now, it gives me the opportunity, because every couple of years I get this opportunity to point this out. Now, I do go on to the shows. They just pay me to go. And everyone else can get lost. Oh, what's that? You want to tell your audience that it's because you're not going to get treated fairly here? Right, I don't care how you feel about how I will treat you. I'll treat you how I damn well see fit on my own show. Now, if you choose to treat me like that on your show, yeah, I'm not going to be there though, am I? That's the point. But you'll tell your audience it's only because you'll get muted that you don't come on my show. I'm not talking about you, am I? I'm not contacting you, asking you to come on my show, and I'm not talking to my audience about the interactions we're not having because I'm concerned about Mucktoon's mute button. That ain't happening, right? You're justifying your reasons for not coming here for free. And when it's, no, there is no barrier, I'll come on your show, you just have to pay me. What's the problem? Are you all poor? I'll come on your shows, dickheads. Oh, what, but you want to tell me what my hourly rate is? You bunch of delusional muppets. Yeah, there's no barriers here, dickheads. Now, if the rest of the idiot audiences of McToon, and in this case Ranty Flat Earth, now auditing the absurd, didn't realise that, yeah, they're more retarded than you. We already knew that. But the bottom line is there is no barrier. I'll go on McToon's show. He just has to pay me. Now, I'm not asking for thousands. A few £100 will get me there. No worries. You'll easily make it back in Super Chats, won't you? You know it, and I know it. So what's the barrier? Mute button? Bollocks. Yeah? Ranty has shattered that illusion 2 days ago, literally. Well done, dumbass. They could have carried on blaming the mute button forever. No, I'll just point out, no, you just have to pay me. Others have. When people are like, I'll pay him £2.50 an hour. Oh, will you? Oh, yeah, well, others won't pay. I've seen a message like that too. Yeah, they have, dickheads. Yeah, I have been on other people's shows. I wouldn't be there unless I was getting paid, and I have been. Now, up until now, I thought there was an unspoken rule that you don't mention these things. And then I suddenly thought about it. Who's telling me? I'm not under contractual obligation to not mention the fact that I have been absolutely paid to go on other people's shows. They're not stupid enough to blame a mute, but they just offer me money. You bunch of idiots. So yeah, you want to make me come on your show. Give me money. We went through this yesterday, you bunch of dumbasses. But no, what is it now? Oh, well, we're going to dictate your hourly rate to you. Yeah, I saw the comments too, Brian. Very amusing.
Let's not mistake. There is no mute button. We just don't allow people to chant over here.
There is absolutely a mute button. Every videographer in the history of ever with guests needs a way to be able to control their show if they want to be responsible for their show. If I just let people come on and have an absolute carte blanche free-for-all on my bleeding show, I wouldn't have one anymore. It's utterly ludicrous. Yes, I can mute you. Obviously. Like I can be muted when I go on other people's shows. Yeah? That's how it works if you're on someone's show. Now, if I'm on a show and they don't like me talking about our measured flat, they can mute me. But you can be damn sure I'm not going to be doing that for free, you bunch of clowns.
Perfectly understandable.
Yeah, they expect you to, for free, spend 2 hours of your life being on one of their shows, getting muted, right, having them make a load of super chats, then trying to strawman you and pull gotcha questions on you that mean absolutely nothing. And
word on the street, Brian,
free.
is I can. Let's just do the same standards as Ranty's put out there. In his shithead, retard brain way, he thinks I can just go over to his show for free. I've heard on the street that I can get Ranty Flat Earth painter and decorator to paint my house while I take his woman out on the town. Yeah, Ranty? For free, you'll come and paint my house. I'll take your woman out while we're doing it, yeah? You can watch. Come and paint my house, Ranty. What's that? You don't want to come and paint my house for free? What are you, a coward? Afraid to paint someone else's house? Is it only your own house that you'll paint, Ranty? Do you see how absurd it sounds? Yeah? Now, Ranty's not going to come around and paint my house for free. Likewise, I'm not going to sit in front of you bunch of dickheads getting pain relief by muting me, not responding to what you put to me, because you can't bear to hear it. Now, here, I can make absolutely certain that your tempestuous interruptions get muted. Yeah, you're damn straight they will. So that the audience hears how Earth is measured flat, rather than you chanting through the top of a response.
Exactly. I mean, all they want is a situation where you go into their show, get super chats and notoriety and all the rest of it off of your name because you're well known. And you get absolutely nothing. Literally nothing. People don't even get to hear your arguments. So why would you do that for free? I don't understand why they can't. Why do they think that?
You're breaking up quite a lot, but I got your sentiment of it. Right. It's like people offering you clout. Well, I've got a bigger channel. You'll be able to build judges. It's like you dickheads were telling me year 1, year 2, year 3, right the way through till about present day, that any time now we'll be disappearing. That's what you've been telling me. So what, I'm going to get clout from going on your bigger channel? I've been here 10 years! My longevity in this subject outstrips all of you. So yeah, you're going to pay me if you want me on your shows, or it be known clear as day thanks to Ranty, yeah? Or to do this. So well done, dickhead. You've exposed the complete, smoke screen, mute button garbage for what it is. No, people have paid me in the past to go on their shows. I will go on your shows and listen to you guys mute me. Yeah? Talk through me, shout me down. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, and you'll even get to make money off me being there. Now, I'm being told that everybody's left and I'm the only one left. Oh, well, then my value's just gone up. Maybe I shouldn't be charging only a few $100s to make an appearance. If I'm the only one, as I'm being told. Right, Ranty? I'm the only one left. Oh, well, then my value when I'm being paid to be on shows, like I have been in the past, my value's just gone up then. Who else is going to be on your show? Apparently there isn't anybody. So my value just went up. Thanks, Ranty.
Shout out to Ranty. Shout out to Ranty.
I mean, what is it for you? You're not asking to be on their shows. You're not asking to debate on this. You're not even asking to debate them specifically anywhere. So there's no benefit for you or else not even this argument. Don't think the only thing you can get out of it, the only thing, because you're not going to get subscribers. You're not going to get that. It's only going to be 500 it's already subscribed. So you're not going to get that. The best you will get is a payday.
I can't understand the word you're saying.
I got some of it. You're saying you can't expect any clout, you can't expect any subscribers, you're not going to get respected while you're there. The best you can expect is to get paid for it. And I completely agree. It's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, you're not going to offer me courtesy. You're not going to offer me politeness. You're not even going to let me finish a sentence. Yet you're going to tell your audience I mute you and that's the reason I need to be on your show for free while you make money off my time. Get lost, you bunch of clowns. Yeah?
Yeah. Hear me. Take it for my while. What's in it for me? You know what I mean? What the hell do they think that? Why do they think the world operates? It's like, I have made no money whatsoever out of this stuff. Now, I'm not in your position where I have to do it as a job. I've made no money. I've been given 2 computers for the same guy. And Adam helped me out as well. He sent me a fish pie, which I don't like, but I was happy. And a small bottle of Prosecco, which I appreciate. Right? But the point is that he gave me something. Other than that, I can't remember getting anything out of anyone in this topic. Right? Or making any money out of it. So if my time is going to be taken up, so I'm just going to use me as the example. I know we're talking about you. Same thing. If any of our time is going to be taken up, then I'm going to get paid for it. What purpose would you have in wanting to spend 2 hours talking to Craig? What could be garnered from that hasn't already been garnered already?
Not only would I not, I don't ever express an interest or, I have no desire to talk to him. None. Otherwise I'd be reaching out to him. I mean, I might be. Don't be too surprised if I'm reaching out to these people in 6 months going, my book's come out. You want me on my show for free? Yeah, no worries. Just need to promote my book.
But that's different. They desire you. When you're promoting the book, that's different. But right now, they desire you.
If I contact someone and I want them to come on the show or to come to an event, to be there at an event I'm running, whatever. Do we then complain when they say, okay, my fee is X? It's like, how dare you for me, because I contacted you and asked you to come to my event. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I mean, Randy knows right? He knows the score. He's not stupid. So much that you wouldn't ask for payment, or you'd have issue with payment. Come with the scam. So give me a break. Like, of course I'm going to get paid. Why else would I want to be there talking to you people? There's nothing to talk about with you.
Yeah, but showing me to be, what, incapable of delivering an answer without immediately getting interrupted by a fundy repeating the same things that he's just said and I'm responding to, that will offer them temporary pain relief. Yeah, all right, okay, I get it. Yeah, you need me for pain relief. Yeah, that symbiotic relationship has just gone up in value for me, though, if everyone else has been vanished. There's a mass exodus. All right. Okay. Well, why is Dan still here talking about flat Earth? If there's been a mass exodus and everybody's left the subject, why does Dan need to exist anymore? Why does Creaky need to exist anymore?
Surely it would just be your face, Nathan.
Say again?
Surely it would just be your face on every video now that they make.
If there's been a mass exodus, my point is, though, right, the impressions being created by people like Wolfie and what's the Freemason guy, the church guy? Oh, there's someone at my door. It might be a microphone. Back in a minute.
That would be Duffy you're talking about as you're getting your microphone or whatever it may be. Will Duffy, the fake pastor.
These people, I mean, they have this idea that they are somehow important and you should want and feel privileged to go to the shows. I have no interest in talking to you at any time ever. I don't know what's going on with them. It's like, how do you not get this?
Brian, they get it. They get it 100%. They're just being a bunch of scutches, and they're trying to put out a false narrative about Nathan that all he wants is money.
Nah, I know the real story, right? The real story is very simple and true. They have made money off of our back without paying any of us, with us not making money, for years, right? With the exception of whatever super chats we could get off of people on our own side. They have made bank on the backs of us for the past 10 years. And when we say, no, we want some money now, right? If you're going to be making money, we want to make money. They do not want to part with our cash. They don't want us. They want the situation to continue as it has, where they are in a position of making financial gain, and you get muted on their show and all the rest of the fees. Right. But when it comes down to us getting money for us having to put our time into talking to them idiots, right, they do not want to pay up. They will not pay. So that's the problem. That's the real problem we have here. A lot of people who are too greedy, right, and they want the things to stay as they've been forever, right? We keep on going on their shows. We keep getting muted. We keep getting asked stupid questions. They keep on ignoring all the evidence that destroys their position, and they get paid for it. It's like, that's not going to continue forever. That has stopped, at least with some of us. And I reckon it will continue, and as a knock-on effect throughout the community. We said this years ago now at this stage. At the start of 2022, we were saying it. Stop debating these people unless they're going to pay you. Get something out of it, because there's nothing to debate with them. You know, they don't deserve it.
They're eating our lunch, is the phrase.
Yeah. It's like that's about the size of it, Nathan. They just do not want to pay. They're used to a situation where they haven't had to pay for years, and now they don't want to have to pay. That's simple. You know, they want you on the show. If you're the last name, see, this is the thing. Well, if you are the last name, what was so great about all the rest of them? Because the last name, were they looking for at any point? Like, who were they looking for? If the rest of them were still here, would they still want you on that show? Yeah, they would. So the rest of those people didn't matter, did they?
No, they've got to pay.
Yeah.
How's this sound? Grundig 312. Second one I bought.
Sounds okay.
Sounds better than the last one. It's in a lot better condition. Came with it's
way better. Way better. It doesn't sound like you're talking through a Coke can.
The previous one sounded like I was talking through a Coke can.
Yeah, this one sounds fine. Absolutely fine. I didn't actually notice much of it. I didn't actually notice straight off that you changed the mic.
Yeah, this is a much better quality. I've got one of these already that worked, so I thought, well, if one's worked, I'll take a gamble on another one, but buy one that's in a nicer condition. So I bought one that's been stored in a box, and it's got very few scratches on it, and it just sounds a lot nicer. So this is a Grundig 312. You like the sound of this one, yeah? I've priced it more. It's more expensive.
Probably could do with a little bit of bass, but that's not any big deal.
It's okay. It sounds like you're talking through Discord as opposed to G+.
So in other words, it sounds like there's a loss of fidelity. That's good, because I like these mics because they colour the sound. So I want it to be lo-fi. I just don't want it to sound bad, like it's got something broken in it. I just want it to be more coloured than a decent mic. So that's the only reason I buy them. So if they're too good, that's almost a bad thing. Anyway, this is the Grundig 312. It's a omnidirectional dynamic microphone with a 3.5mm, quarter-inch jack on the end. And I've put a, what's it called? XLR adapter. That's the next thing I need to test. Actually, I'll do that now while you guys are chatting, and then I'm finished testing.
What that mic? That mic could be perfect for someone with a deep voice singing.
What, to counteract
someone with
it?
A deep voice? Yeah, because it doesn't have that bass. It's a little bit nasally, so it needs someone with a bit of a deeper voice. Like Chocolate or someone, Eli, something with that deeper voice. John, refractive curvature. You should send him that. Hook it up to his phone.
I could just check that, actually. I'll just change the impedance setting and see if it sounds any better. Just give me a sec.
Seconds off. Let's go.
No, it's not a high impedance mic. I think that was bad. Anyway, right, I'm going to try it with an XLR and then I'm done. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, we got a live show going on here. So, any evidence of Earth curve?
Oh yeah, I should really do housekeeping, shouldn't I? Any evidence of a physical geometric spheroid horizon formerly known as the curve of the Earth?
No, there isn't. I'll be back in about 40 minutes.
Oh, I was just going to say, Brian. Liam, have you seen any evidence of what Nathan's asking for?
Only an orthographic view.
Yeah, they don't get that. I remember that guy came in and he was swearing that he had the observation. That he did. That's what he observed. And no matter how much we explained it to him, that's not how you see. He swore, no, I had this observation. Funny.
So this is the Grundig 312 via an XLR. So this is 3-pin XLR microphone level Grundig 312 omnidirectional dynamic microphone from Great Britain, 1960s microphone. Cool, huh?
Yeah, that sounds good. Professional.
Yeah, a load of adapters to convert to XLR so I can run these things at microphone level. So I include them in the box so you've got the greatest chance of actually getting it working if you bought a microphone from me on eBay. Anyway, I'm done testing this one. Good mic. Happy with this.
Next housekeeping question, please.
Any evidence you can have gas pressure without a container?
Discord?
Or any single viable hypothesis from any of the fields of astronomy, cosmology, or astrophysics?
I don't think they know what science is. Last few videos and shows from QE, they demonstrate that they don't know what science is. And it's crazy because they got this great education, and they dropped the ball.
Well, Michikaku knows what it is, and he'll tell you that he doesn't use it.
Yeah, that's one of the few disclaimed relinquishments of science, right, by Michio Kaku.
From the seat of his pants.
It's guesswork.
Yeah, we need chocolate to give the whole quote.
Yeah, there is no scientific evidence of anything to do with globes. Earth's measured flat. There is going to be people who come to the subject, though, via microphone videos, right? So as much as people are probably thinking, what the hell is he doing? He's in the middle of a live stream testing a microphone. Yeah, I'm going to cut that out, trim it out, and not only will it make my advert a little bit more shiny and unique on eBay, it'll also get published on YouTube for people to find their way to mics. So there's going to be people looking for old British mic, old vintage mic, things like that. And they'll come across a video of me in it talking about a mic and showing them how it sounds. And they're like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder what other videos this guy's got. Next thing you know, they're finding out Earth's measured flat. But that's what I released just before the show so we could discuss exactly that. Because now that next thing in my list, you can't say these things out loud until they happen. Because otherwise, if you do, you're forcing it and it won't happen. It's like if you don't allow your competitor, in this case, flat earth opponent, to make a video about me making videos about mics, then, you know, me asking or inviting somebody to do that is never going to result in somebody doing it, is it? If I said, hey, anti-flat earthers, any chance you can just mention the fact that I've started selling microphones, maybe talk about mics and how they affect us in what we do and your opinions on the mics that I've sold? Do you think they'd say yes? No. But if you just put it out there and just hope that because everybody who's making YouTube videos is using a microphone, you've got a good chance they're going to have an opinion on it. If I talk about lawn mowers, yeah, you might be a YouTuber, you might not have a lawn to mow. For all I know, I don't. Well, I do, but it's not mine. I'm not mowing it. It's an apartment, so somebody else, a gardener, mows it. My point is that not all subjects can relate to everybody who's in your arena, even your opponents, on the same level. Microphones are one of those few things, so they're a perfect crossover tool. Acoustic treatment, not so much. Hi-fi, not so much. Yeah, people monitor stuff and might have headphones, but they all need a mic. So yeah, we might see some new people coming from a different corner of the internet via the microphone videos that I can afford to purchase because I'm selling them on eBay, and then I can buy another one and make a new video that somebody might just happen across. From a flat Earth perspective, that's very good. So there's a crossover. Sorry, I'm making all this noise, shoving microphone leads back into their boxes. Did anybody happen to see my video about me and microphones that I put out just before this live stream?
No, but I'm sure it was cheesy.
Was it a love story?
It wasn't a love story. It was a story about a nice aspect of a community member in that community, not ours, that was, keen to inform me or make sure I'm better informed about the subject that I found myself in. And that person was very nice. They happened to have spent about £2 with me on an eBay item that was just that little bit too nice to throw in the bin when, like a lot of mics recently, I've tested it and it didn't work. Right? And I'm like, I can't let this go in the bin. It's too shiny. So I put it up for £1 or whatever I put it up for. I think £1.70 plus the postage at £2. And I think I ended up making about 80p profit, which is good, keeps you sane. But the point is, I was questioning it because I had to package it up and take it up to the Tesco while we were doing the book last night. So I'm saying to Adam, is this a sensible thing to be doing? I've got to now step away for 10 or 15 minutes while you guys carry on without me here. Now, as much as Brian might take the piss and say, well, you're not doing anything. Well, no, it's absolutely necessity. There's a necessity for me to be there because quickly grinds to a halt potentially if I'm not. Now, in this instance, the 15 minutes didn't make any difference. Things carried on. It was all fine. But it does make you question, is the ATP really worth it? It's not going to pay the mortgage this month, is it? So is it worth it is the question. Well, when that same customer who's made me ATP comes back and fills my head with all sorts of information that I hadn't got before about microphones. You're like, oh, this is a lovely community. This is the reason I did it. It's the reason I've looked at this mic and not just seen dollar signs above it. I've thought, nah, I'll sell it. I'll go to that effort and clean it, make sure it's nice, package it and post it, and advertise it and market it and make a video for it for 80p, because somebody will want it and love it and appreciate that it's only worth that, because they might get it working again. Well, I found that guy, and that guy happened to be a world of knowledge when it came to the subject that I'm branching out from Flat Earth with to bring people to this subject. How do you cross-pollinate Flat Earth with anything? Well, very difficult if you actually think about it. So, personally, I think I've worked a little miracle. And, since moaning about a couple of people going, why are you talking about mics? I'm here for Flat Earth. Other people have gone, actually, I actually do enjoy you talking about mics. I've learned a lot about mics. I wasn't intending to learn about mics, but it's interesting to hear you talk about it passionately, because you obviously are passionate about it. And you're like, yeah, I am. So there we go. That was my video. It's called Me and Microphones, and it's got a starting section that would be only of interest to people who are into mics, talking about impedance matching and that story of that guy, but about specifically what he's telling me. If you're into Flat Earth, it's not going to be in the slightest bit interesting to you until you get to about the 6-minute mark, and then you realise that in that same video that somebody who is interested in mics and is listening to me tell a story about mic impedances, suddenly I'm talking about one other YouTuber who's made a video about also microphones because he doesn't like a flat earther. Suddenly, the guy who's come from mics is being exposed to a subject he wasn't exposed to prior. Beautiful. I'm done.
Well, that's the way to do it. If you can get it done that way, we'll get it done that way. But the word is getting out there.
So you set your shop up next to the hill for people to fall down. You're not pushing them, but you're just next to the hill.
Exactly. They don't know they've just walked up a hill that they're about to roll down after they've bought a microphone. They don't know that. Now, this real estate was cheap. What do you want? It's right next to this hill that you find out you're in a religion for the majority of your natural born life. Yeah. Also, this mic does kind of sound like it comes from the 50s, doesn't it? I feel a bit maniacal when I laugh like that. Am I evil? I'm doing what I've said I wouldn't do, which is ruining people's day with Flat Earth. Now, in my mind, it's like, I can't help that Earth is flat, right? And I'm not doing it in a way that's like, look at the horizon, look at how the sun sets, look at this azimuthal equidistant North Pole-centric globe projection. I'm not doing any of those things. I'm saying to the audience member that's come from microphones, you'd know it was flat too if you ever measured Earth. That's how I'm leaning into it. Yeah? You'd know too if you'd have looked into the religion of heliocentrism. In other words, it's like, why should I have to feel apologetic for the fact that Earth's flat? And I do it for a subject. And I like microphones. That's not my fault. So yeah, if you do happen to find your way here through microphones, right, I'm not even going to apologise. Now you know Earth's flat. Earth was always flat. See on this diagram? This is Earth curve maths calculations. See where it says surface level? That's flat. It's the surface and it's level. It has to be for it to be calculable for a differential from that surface level to be inferred to be Earth curve. It also cannot bend because it has to be parallel with this thing called eye level just above it. See where it says eye level? Yeah, you'll need to measure your height off sea level to get eye level, and it must be parallel with surface level for this maths to function in an orthographic view that you can't have representing your world because you never see the side of your own head. Where it says eye, you never see your own eye, ever. But this diagram, as you're looking at it from the side of a globe Earth where you're about 5,000 or 6,000 miles away from it, you're looking at the side of your own head. Anyway, we debunked that in 2020 if you just got here. Black Swan. What are we doing tomorrow? We're not in politics.
Maybe a quiz?
Quiz?
Karaoke?
Could do karaoke. If you're struggling for a microphone, just let me know. We'll have to respond to a video, I guess. Someone will have to dig something out and we'll have to respond to it. Anyone remember how many chapters there are in my book? Is it 14?
I think it's 14.
We're about halfway through the editing process. We just did chapter 6 yesterday. Unfortunately, we're not doing any more this week, which I'm a little bit gutted about. That said, I feel a lot more rested and had a couple of videos in me, like me and microphones, which is what I was just talking about. I edited that. I actually did go to the effort of editing a video, plugging a decent mic into the iPad and producing it properly. Yeah.
Well, let's just put it this way. The time is being taken to do the book right. So when it comes out, get ready.
Yeah. Go ahead, D-Rose. Is D off mute or was it someone else?
I think that was my stupid GPS.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. So yeah, I intend to get back into the swing of flat earthing only. That would be the ideal, right? There are not quite enough hours in the day to do just that. Like just YouTubing flat earth and making edited videos. I can just about squeeze that into a day if I do all the admin things that go alongside it, like making thumbnails, responding to messages, things like that. That will take up my entire day, every day, if I'm doing it. But to squeeze in the book has been a bit of a struggle, and it's cost me, like it has been of a financial detriment to me to do that. Now, don't get me wrong, it's the same as always been true of my community, and I will call it that, my community, that has been built over the last 10 years, because they've kept me going. They've made sure I'm not struggling. Now, it's always a struggle, but I mean, I'm not being turfed out yet. And I would hope that by the time the book actually does come out, I'll have then stopped buying microphones to flip for a small profit, because there won't be a necessity to do that anymore. The ancillary or tertiary income, or whatever you call it, will come from the book itself. And for several people around me. So I keep mentioning this. When the book does come out, there'll be a means for somebody who wants to promote that book to promote it as their own and make the same I would make off it if it sells by their, promotion, by their link. So I'd hope that other people will, see it as theirs, like take ownership of the words inside it. Because why not? That's the point, isn't it? You see the arguments laid out in black and white in a book. You can either absorb it and regurgitate it, or buy it for someone else and just give it to them. Someone asked me in the pre-show what will be on the back of the book, and I was like, a reminder to buy someone else a copy.
Anyway, it's going to be good. I'm going to buy a few copies for a few people I got lined up. They need to hear this, especially my cousin's school teacher. Oh, it's going to be a beauty. And to make a point, I like it. I like the name, Welcome to Flat Earth. I think it's something that we should consider, or you should consider.
I've already considered it, and I absolutely think that should be the title. The working title, All Roads Lead to a Flat Earth, seems very wordy when Welcome to Flat Earth is an alternative. Now,
Plain and simple.
Well, the cover art, right? So there is certain cover art that already exists, right? Let's see if I can bring some of that up while we're doing this. I'll just get a book review. Just give me a sec.
Yeah, but I see that in chat. It was good, man. I liked it immediately.
Any trolls that comment to you, just send them back a link to your bookstore.
Yeah. I mean, it's a reference book. We've been calling that for a while because it is, right? So in terms of being able to reference various different aspects of arguments within Flat Earth, obviously you can have an idea before the book even comes out how that's structured, right? We've got housekeeping. So that's the basic framework that the book's built around. Measured,
and it's
flat.
so perfect because we use it so many times. Welcome to Flat Earth. It's great, man.
It's no longer... no longer called that. Let's just see if I can share this in the... Give me a sec. Here we go. See that? So this is one of the working covers potentially for the book, but as the title's constantly shifting and changing, right? Whoops. Measured flat, knowing all roads lead to flat Earth, the ultimate reference, right? And then you've got a puddle along a flat road with the reflection of all the buildings, right? Very good book cover, I think. However, Welcome to Flat Earth. That's just a better title. I think,
Yeah, it's like you can't get any better. It's like, why didn't we think of that? We say it all the time. Welcome to Flat Earth, because they give us the evidence.
Yeah, I think the title should be amended. As much as measured flat and all knowing all roads lead to a flat Earth, the ultimate reference, these are all the ideas literally in one mashed up title. But you're like, what would you call this? The ultimate reference? Measured flat? Knowing all roads lead to a flat Earth? It's a bit convoluted, isn't it? Welcome to Flat Earth. That's a much better title.
And everything else can go in the book, you know, like on the inside the cover sleeve. You have all of this measured flat and everything. You could put all those words in there, but the title, Welcome to Flat Earth. Inside, the ultimate reference, and then so on and so on, rather.
Yeah, I mean, you just need a working title when you're working on the book, right? So having a working title, All Roads Lead to a Flat Earth. I think it was called Housekeeping originally, right? Originally, the working title was Housekeeping Questions or something like that. But it doesn't really matter. You know, the longer you work on it, the more you can banty around what the title might be and see what works and what sits well. But Welcome to Flat Earth, if you heard that and you were aware of me, even casually aware of me and what I do, and you heard a book title called Welcome to Flat Earth, I reckon even a vague understanding of me and what I do would immediately allude to that being my book. Wouldn't it?
Yes, and it would be like pouring salt into the ballers. I love it.
How many versions of the book would there be?
One.
Right, so just one artwork to use then.
Yes. I mean, originally the publicist was saying, no, you can have amendments, right? As it needs amending. If you happen to see an error, you can just change it in the ebook version. It's just not a problem. Whereas the level of refinement that is expected of us has been increased even further with this book. So there needs no I's missing, dots and T's uncrossed in this book. It needs to be absolutely pristine at the point of release. And I've accepted that's what the standard is, and I'm not moaning about it. But that is the standard, right? It's not only got to be a proper book, it's got to be a properly well-polished, well-written, well-rounded, well-referenced book.
I'll be honest, I was expecting the reflections to be depicted we're using sea level in the horizon as opposed to puddles in a random street somewhere in the world.
The title's important, and what's on the cover, picture-wise, just needs to be eye-catching. Often, horror books are the worst for this. The picture on the front cover has often got very little to do with the book. It just catches your eye. So, in this respect, it's got a vague semblance of association with reflections and flat earthism. But Welcome to Flat Earth with an eye-catching picture. That's what it needs to be, I feel. Maybe you'll let me know in the YouTube live stream what you think. The audience specifically. What do you reckon? Good title. Welcome to Flat Earth. Shout out to Flat Out Fudge. Welcome to Flat Earth should be big on the last page. Yeah. Yeah, don't disagree with that either.
Eli, what do you think? I think it's perfect. Yeah, so do I. No, I'm beyond the weeds, but I think it's the perfect title. I can't do Eli's voice.
He said
Where's
once. He said
chocolate?
it once. Once. Anyway, yeah, I think it's a good title. I think that's what it should be. We should change the title. It's not come out yet. It can be whatever we like.
What the commenters say?
As in, what's the YouTube chat saying?
Yeah.
Or other than
That's who came up with it.
really?
Yeah, it was somebody in the YouTube chat yesterday or the day before. I'm not sure. No, it was yesterday.
Someone says, I'm surprised. Is it Anime? Gematria says, surprised the book title is not Earth is Measured Flat. Yeah, welcome to is better. Just welcome to anything is a good title. Welcome to X sounds obviously welcoming, doesn't it? Not
Especially when you're not welcoming it as a funding.
yeah.
Hold on. But you're going to get everything in the book. You're going to get the measured flat. You're going to get everything. But welcome to Flat Earth. You welcome them in. You're welcoming them in, but you're really not.
Tom says, I like measured flat better, more textbook sounding. I don't want it to sound like a textbook. Welcome to Flat Earth sounds like a story. I want it to sound like a story. I want it. That's more appealing on the shelf, Tom.
Yep.
You're right. We know what it is as a reference book. Now, do we have to put that on the cover that it's a reference book? No. It is what it is. You know, that just means that it's got a very high standard to it. It's still written in a way that you can relate to a person, me, writing it. You can, in some instances, hear the influence massively in Chapter 6 that we just did, because a lot of it's QE's work. So you'll hear that, as much as I've tried to massage it out. So those aspects of the book will come through regardless of me saying this is a reference book, this is a textbook. So yeah, I just want people to buy it. You know,
Yes.
Welcome to Flat Earth is more appealing.
That's my point. It's all going to come through, like you just said. Welcome to Flat Earth, the title, and everything is going to be in there. Measured, everything else is going to be. It's going to be in the book.
Yeah, you want Coriolis and how it works on a globe Earth, how it undoes itself for their rhetoric. That will be in a chapter in the book that you can go get citations for how their claims pad out for them, how anti-flat earthers tried to deflate us undoing them. The whole kit and caboodle's there in a chapter, nice and concise, having had several eyes go over it and make sure it's concise. Same with every chapter. And by concise,
And then
sometimes
this time next year, you'll be headlining Wembley.
I don't know about headlining Wembley, but if a few books sell, I'll be happy, right?
Why are you always underselling it? Yes, Liam, we may be headlining Wembley. Like the way I said we.
On the other hand, if at the other end of the scale it ends a few tabletop arguments over dinner, then that's good too. Someone goes, all right, well, I don't understand this, but I've got a reference book. Give me half an hour. They go, they read the chapter and come back and go, right, let's do that again. So Earth's turning underneath the pendulum, you say?
Oh, keep it in your bathroom, people.
Are you saying learn about Coriolis while you're having a poo?
Well, that's why I do all my reading. That's my throne.
Well, that's lovely. I would suggest you keep it in a library, but that's just me. Neil's library is his toilet.
Oh, wait a second. People visit you. They use your bathroom. Right on the little table in there, you'll see, welcome to Flat Earth. What's this all about?
No one's ever touching that book in your bathroom. So yeah, tomorrow we'll do a reaction video as we have been perma-banned from the politics server. So unfortunately tomorrow's regularly usual scheduled programming from the politics server will not be occurring as we are no longer welcome, unfortunately. So did I press the violin button? Oh, I forgot to press it. Damn. Anyway, we're not welcome, so we'll be doing something else, presumably reacting to a video.
Hi, for those who just happen to be away for a couple of weeks and come back and they say, wait a second, what do you mean you're not welcome? What happened?
Someone came in and said the N-word, and then I diffused it by saying it repeatedly and describing how somebody who might use that word might be a racist or not, but without saying N-word, using the word, and then I got banned. There you go. Another shout out to Flat Out Fudge, who says, your original title is good. It'll invoke inquisitive behaviour and then, quote, welcome to Flat Earth, end quote, at the end of navigation notion. Right, Flat Earth. Thank you for the super chat.
Let's put it this way. If it's not titled Welcome to Flat Earth, I'm going to be extremely disappointed.
Well, we wouldn't want that, Neil. Would we?
No, but I think everybody will agree. Run it by Adam, run it by QE. They'll all say that's perfect.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to going on a little YouTube-esque tour after 10 years of being in the subject with a book in hand. That's going to be fun. That's going to be a special time in my life. You know what I mean, Neil? And I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. And you're going to do great.
Oh,
The book's going to do great. I just feel it in my bones. Just something that when you get that feeling, it's like this little discernment I have, a God-given gift.
Yes. Sometimes I get a good feeling.
When I get that feeling.
Indeed, that's correct. When I get that feeling.
I want sexual healing.
Yes, indeedy, Neil. Right, we've got 5 minutes left on this live stream. What else are we going to cover?
Does Simon Dan have a flat head?
Say again?
Does Simon Dan have a flat head? I've been trying to work it out, but I can't get the angle to confirm it or not.
This is what we were reduced to. The absurdity of checking out how flat people's heads are. Were these people turned by their mothers in their cribs? Stay tuned for Simon Dan's assessment of how flat is your head. Coming soon to Flat Earth Debate.
It would only be locally flat, if it is flat. Only local.
If he's got a flat head, it'll only be locally flat, did you say, Craig?
Yep, definitely. We figured this out yesterday.
You can measure that much flatness. It's only local. I was asking this earlier, though, right? If it's true, they're suggesting, Duffy's suggesting, before my microphone arrived, that there's a mass exodus. Okay. And Ranty's suggesting I'm the only flat earther left. Okay, let's just take those two things as read. What is the purpose of Simon Dan's presence in this subject, if that is the case? Right, it's all over then, as far as they're concerned, right? They want to create the impression that it's all over then. Okay. Yeah, I'm still here talking about how flat we measure it, though, aren't I? You bunch of dickheads. Hello? McDuffie? Toon? Simon Dan? You bunch of wankers. I am still here telling my audience how Earth is measured flat in no uncertain terms. You think it's all over? It isn't! You're delusional! There's been no mass exodus either. Yeah? Your thumbnail shows how many people have left. Because that's how many people have left. They can fit on a thumbnail!
Yeah, but Nick was a very important guy, Nathan.
So is Patricia Steer. They're all very important people.
Well,
That
here's the
came
thing.
out wrong.
It was supposed to be. Sorry, go ahead.
I said, when I meant Patricia Steer, she was accused of being transsexual at one point in her flat Earth career. When I said she's a very important person, I didn't mean she's a very important guy, which is what preceded it. It just came out wrong. I meant Patricia Steer was key in the flat Earth community at one point. She's also alleged to have left. Now, I don't know. I've not spoken to her. She used to be a mate, right? She completely detached herself from me for whatever reason. I don't know. But she hasn't come back and communicated with me. I'd love to know. I thought, being a mate, she'd at least tell me why Earth's a globe again. I haven't been informed. Hey, Patricia, maybe you let me know. Yeah, I've done this bit a few times, eh? Yeah, she ain't going to do that.
She detached herself from you because you yell. And another thing, it was supposed to be the final experiment. So why do we keep getting these videos? I thought it was over.
And also, is Danny Faulkner still on his lunch?
Who are all those people on the horizon? What'd you say? They're the Lone Rangers? Yeah, final experiment, my ass. Exodus, my ass. Earth still measured flat and we'll still be saying it. But you can pretend like it's all over. Right? Like Antarctica made all the difference, but now you're going to do another experiment? Who for? Hasn't everybody already left, Duffy? Doesn't this seem kind of stupid and contradictory? Who are you making the video for? Preaching to the converted much?
Let me explain very quickly what Exodus means. That
You'll
means everybody leaves. So if there was an Exodus, then Nathan would not be speaking right now. This show would be gone.
Yeah, but
That's what Exodus means, Duffy.
But I'm fine to take it as read. Okay, Exodus. So what's the point in Simon Dan still being here? There's a symbiosis that needs to be exercised. And if I'm the only one, then I'm the only one, right? What has the only flat earther left on the dance floor got to say about Earth being flat? Oh, it's measured that way by them. What's that, Antarctica? Yeah, they measured... Go ahead.
How would you measure that? If you went onto YouTube and typed in flat Earth, how would you know if everybody left when the only results that come up would be pro-globe?
Well, you wouldn't. I would be the only one knowing. But I don't care.
So he wouldn't know that either, would they?
What, Exodus people who suggest that everybody's left and then the censorship suggests that we all have? I mean, yeah, you can delude yourself that that's true, I suppose. But it's delusional.
Yeah, we all left ages ago, apparently, according to YouTube.
Nathan, you're stepping all over, Craig. Would you relax?
Sorry. One more time, Craig. My bad.
No, I'm just saying we're all archaic. We all left ages ago, apparently, according to YouTube.
Yes. But ultimately, and I've said this prior, it wouldn't matter if I was the only one saying it. The recognition beyond the religion that everybody is involved in, that's heliocentrism, is a practical application of an Earth that is always, and has always been, and always will be, measured flat. And there aren't any exceptions to it. What's that, Earth curve? No. Flat Earth, horizontal, surface level, parallel with eye level, measured off surface level or sea level. So no, you've got a flat Earth that's required in every respect. What's that? You're the only one left? What, that knows Earth's measured flat? No, people still measure their heights off sea level to believe they're on a ball. They're just too stupid to recognise how Earth must be flat for their calculations, even though it's on the calculation itself. What's that? I'm the only one who recognises that. Okay? What, so I'm surrounded by the dumbest people ever to have lived? Yeah, okay. You carry on exercising your own dumbness. Yeah, dumb yourself down a bit more. Just ignore where it says surface level. Ignore measuring your elevation off sea level. Ignore that it must be parallel with eye level. Pretend that sea level bends. Pretend parallel doesn't exist. I don't care. Yeah, if I was the last guy on Earth, it wouldn't matter. It's still flat. Shout out again to Flat Out Fudge. It was an exodus. All the shields left.
Oh, that's
By
good.
what do you mean shields? Does he mean shills?
Yeah, that's what he means.
Well, it might be a defense reference, like all the guns. No?
Well, shields means that they're all like, how do you say it? Like a cop has a shield, or you know,
A badge.
yeah, badge, shield.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously there was a few travelling men who still hang around to do more Lone Rangers. I mean, experiments that are final. Till the next one that's needed. For all the people that have left that aren't here anymore. It all makes perfect sense. We never did establish if you were a travelling man, Neil.
I'm a traveling today.
Very interesting. Right, any last remarks before we move into the after show? No?
Yes,
Go
I
on.
have a remark. Name the book, Welcome to Flat Earth.
That might very well be the case, Neil, but with that I'm going to say if you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Premiering Streams, then stay tuned as there will be an after show to follow. Good show. Is it going to be called Welcome to Flat Earth? I'm thinking
Let's
yes.
put it this way. It's an offer you can't refuse.
What's that?
The name of the book, Welcome to Flat Earth. It's an offer you can't refuse.
Whatever.
Godfather reference, but you could say it's a suggestion that will not be refused.
So yeah, dig out a video for tomorrow. So we need something. We need to fill a Friday space now. Regularly.
I think we should fill it up by talking about the situation. Right? How we would be there, but we're not welcome anymore.
Why would we do that?
So I want to take a shot at a few people. Let's number them. I want to take a shot out of 11.
Oh, don't get Brian started. He'll start talking about number 9.
It is the most important digit in the universe. It's the highest digit in the universe. John Lennon forced labor on his wife for Sean because he wanted him to be born on the 9th.
Okay.
What do they call that? They call it inducing labor.
Yeah, inducing.
I mean, she wasn't due for another, I think, 2 or 3 weeks, but he wanted that baby born on the 9th.
That's messed up.
Yeah. But he also knew Earth was flat, John Lennon. Let's get that under the. That's probably why they killed him.
Reckon?
Well, it said that he had problems with the song "While My Guitar Gently Weeps" because it references Earth spinning. Okay. Supposedly there was a dispute about that. Now they tell you that the dispute was that John and Paul did not want that song on, and they were giving him a hard time. Why would they not want a great song on an album? So it don't make sense. The only thing that makes sense is he had a problem with that particular lyric.
Well, do you know that?
I look at the world and I notice it's turning. That's the lyric he had a problem with. So what did George do? He brought in EC, Eric Clapton. By the way, this is pure speculation.
Good to know, Neil.
But the number 9 is it is the highest digit in the universe. After that, you go back to 1, right, or 0.
According to Neil, yes, Neil.
All right, tell me the next number after 9. 10, right? 1 and a 0. Every single number is going to be a number that's already there. So 9 is the last one, the highest one. It's the
Day,
highest
everybody.
digit in the universe.
Love potion number 9.
What was that?
Love potion number 9. Well, good to know.
I'm not hearing anything because the GPS just keeps talking when anybody says anything. I'm going to rip it out.
Good day, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Hi, Neil. How are you, sir?
So, Guns of Navarone, you were verified, and Nathan said it is definitely you from previous chats.
Yes.
So,
Yes, it is.
welcome.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, a good title would be "Welcome to Flat Earth," because all roads lead to flat Earth. That's a longer title, but it's all in one, eh?
Nah, it's too much. You have that when you open the
much?
book on the insert
Oh, too much.
part.
That's true. Yeah, you put it on the insert. You're right. I heard you say that earlier. You're right. Good idea. Anyway, I'm legit there, Neil. I know you are. You're on the panel, and we know what's going on with your life, and that's nice to know that all true. And what's going on with your GPS there?
I want to know who you are, Neil. Be very suspicious.
You should know what's going on with my GPS.
Yeah, why is it interrupting your talking, your whatever you're communicating?
I don't know, but it's been happening ever since you came on the scene.
Is Brian still here?
No.
Brian, the suspicious Irish guy. Yeah.
Off doing
Anyway, I'm
suspicious
legit.
things.
I just wanted to come in and say hello, and great show as usual. Nice mic. Those mics you showed us, they looked really cool and all that stuff.
Oh, thank you. Really appreciate it.
It's not that. It's
I
not that
I
we're
love the mic talk.
suspicious. Hold on, Robert. It's not that
Yeah.
we're not trusting, or we are suspicious
Yeah.
because we've been burned a lot.
Oh, I know.
Look back at the
I've been here
history.
10
We've been
years. I
burned,
know all
stabbed
about
in
it.
the back,
Yeah, I know.
gutted.
Absolutely. But Neil, I've been here 10 years too, and I've listened to almost every show, and I hear you guys get burned all the time. There's a bunch of shills out there, and I know that personally. There's a lot of shills out there, but you got to take the good with the bad, and the word still gets out there. Earth is flat. That's it.
Very
Wait a
suspicious.
second.
Measured
There's
flat.
something you just said earlier. You just said you do know
Yeah,
that
that's
there
what
are
I
a
picked
lot
up
of
on.
shills. How do
Yeah,
you know?
you know a lot of the shells, do you?
Everybody knows. Don't you know?
No.
No, there's no shills. No, of course there's shills. That it doesn't
No,
take
we
a
don't
rocket
know.
surgeon.
We surmise that there are, but you said you
Well, I
know.
know. I just know how the government works. That's all. You know, and I just know that there's certain sections or sectors in the government that specifically hires these losers.
Okay, well, let's ask
Okay.
then. So what do you reckon? Patricia Steer, shill or no shill?
Shill.
Robbie Davidson, shill or no shill?
Shill.
Jaron Campanella, shill or no
Shill.
shill?
These people were all bought. They were legitimate at first, but then they were approached and bought.
Paul on the plane, shill or no shill?
Paul is he's cool. He's okay.
He's no shill, you say?
Yeah, you
No
can't buy
shill.
him. He was
Paul's not-
already a millionaire.
He's
Paul on
just
the
got
plane?
some mental problems. Yeah, he's got some psychological problems. That's all. It's he's not a shill.
Got some psychological problem?
Yeah, Paul on the plane. Is that his name? Paul on the plane.
I think that's what his mother called him, yes. She signed the
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Paul on the plane.
Names. Another name. Give me another name.
Tony.
Well, of course, McToon, McGoober, and all them. They're all shills. McKeegan, McToon. Who else is there? Oh yeah, Dave, not a professor. Dave, yeah, he's a shill. Simon, Dan, they're all paid.
Forget
Like,
about
they're
that.
not gonna
David
wait.
Weiss.
David Weiss, shill or no shill?
Shill, 100% shill, 100% misinformation agent, 100%. Disinformation
Eric DeBay,
agent.
shill or no shill?
Not. Eric DeBay's not a shill. He's
Mark
got a
Sargent.
lot of.
Shill
Mark
or not a
Sargent,
shill?
this is fun. Mark Sargent, shill or
Mark
no shill?
Sargent, he was legit. The
Was?
first
Past
6 months
tense?
he was legit.
Let's ask the question again.
Yeah, he was originally. Yeah, originally these people were legit, and a lot of them just got bought out. Basically approached, and that with an offer they couldn't refuse, and they went for it. And the whole thing is to convolute, just to mix people up about flat Earth, to make it sound like goofy or what do you call it, mocking flat Earth. Like look at Mark Sargent with his little rubber ball, and he's got all the. At one point he said maybe the Earth has got a mechanism underneath it that turns the Earth, the flat Earth. Like do you remember that? Like
Shill or no shill? Mark Sargent, shill or no shill?
now shill. He's been a shill for 3 years, 4 years now.
Got a very confusing answer. I heard now shill. That's not one of the. I'm going to repeat the question. The question is
past tense. Okay, yeah. He's been
shill
a shill for about
or no shill?
Shill. Shill. Mark Sargent is a shill.
Is that your final answer?
Yep, final answer. Shill.
Dum 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 dum.
Okay, I got one for you.
Going with
Nathan
Mark
Oakley.
Sargent, shill.
Shill or not a shill?
100%
Nathan Oakley, shill
legitimate.
or no shill?
100% legitimate.
Dum 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 dum.
Nathan's the only channel besides like Brian and QE. QE, I don't know what's going on with him. He's just a grumpy old man. I don't know. He's younger than me. Like I don't know. He used to be a lot more. What do you call it? He
Younger?
wasn't as grouchy about 5 years ago. He sure is grouchy now. He tells everybody to shut up and like he has good information, but I don't know. I think he's going senile a bit. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm totally joking. Yeah, he went through the military. No wonder. I don't blame him for having that attitude.
Now here's the big
Anybody else?
one. Here's the big one. Hold on. Was what's his name? Xanadu Bob Nodell, a shill or was he not a shill?
He's not
He
here
was
no
a
more.
shill.
They can't really ask that question.
He can't really answer to it. Yeah, but he was a shill. All the ball buster or globe busters or whatever, they're all paid out, except for John Morgal. They blackballed him, eh? So, you know. But yeah, they're all shills. Even that Uru guy.
Have you heard Morgal talking about his experiences? about 6 months
Oh my
ago.
God.
Did you hear him?
Oh my God, yes. And then I remember Dave Weiss was in his chat asking for his $200 back that he lent him. And then the Morgal was saying he gave me the $200 or whatever. He didn't ask for it back. And he's like asking for his money back. Like this is just a couple of months ago.
Dave
Like in his
Weiss was
chat, like
asking
he's asking
Morgal for his money back. You're joking.
He's asking Morgal for the $200 he gave him like 5-6 years ago. Just
Wow.
like
Wow.
Hey, listen,
right in the
that's a
chat.
Jew for you.
No
Yeah.
need.
Well, but yeah,
It's just outright racist.
like that should make you suspicious right away. David Weisberg, like as a flat earther, okay, considering the world is controlled by a lot of Jews, and the lies originate from a lot of superpowered Jews, and then you got David Weisberg, disinformation agent. Like he's a shill. He's been a shill for. He brought out that app. Like he was greedy, obviously, but he
This
made
is
he
just
made
a
a fortune.
stereotyping fallacy. Borderline outright
Yeah,
racism.
Yeah, let's be careful. I was only joking. I take it
yeah,
back.
yeah. I understand. Yeah. Okay, I agree with you. Yeah, they're not all Jews.
Oh my God.
No.
Robert, change it to
Stereotyping fallacy.
Guinea. Those
Okay.
untrustworthy guineas.
Okay. Let's backtrack. I retract what I said about the those people. Those people that 40% of government heads are dual citizens from Israel
All
and the United
right,
States.
let's change the subject.
Okay. But anyway, that's true. 40%.
Yeah, I
Head
mean,
of
I
DEA,
hear from
head of FBI, head of CIA. They're all dual citizens with Israel. So there you go.
where's Brian when you need to talk about Hitler and killing kittens?
Oh
NSA.
my God.
Oh, Brian and Hitler. Oh my. Oh, don't.
McDuffie,
Oh,
shill
righty
or
then.
not a shill?
Duffy is a travelling man.
Okay,
As
hold on a second. Now, I misunderstood what you meant by that. Explain what a traveling man is.
Freemason.
Yeah.
So then I retract every time I said traveling man today.
Now, you didn't know the right answer. Duffy knew the right answer when he was asked if he was a travelling man by the guy who runs Modern Day Debates, who asked him very specifically, "Are you a travelling man?" And the answer was, "I am a travelling man," from Will Duffy. So Will Duffy is a Freemason.
Yes. Yes. You can spot them pretty well, pretty easily. You just know by their demeanor, just their mannerisms.
Don't they have
You
little
pretty
pink,
well they
little
stick
pink
out
badges?
like a sore thumb.
Don't they have little
Pardon me?
badges? Don't they have little badges on them or something?
Maybe a
I'm,
tattoo
I'm,
on their
I'm probably thinking of
ass.
something else.
Yeah, a little tattoo on somewhere on their body, probably. But yeah, they carry a badge in their wallet, of course. In case something happens, they need to have their identification. Then they get special treatment. If they're a 33rd degree Mason, they'll get supreme treatment if they're in an accident or something and they have their badge in their wallet. Yeah. I
Well,
personally, I
were
can spot
our
them as.
founding fathers Freemasons?
I'm sorry. Come again?
Were our founding fathers of America, the Washingtons and all
Yes.
of them, were they
Yes.
Freemasons?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So then when they say that America was built on Christianity, that's not true
It's
if
a
they were
bogus
Freemasons.
Luciferian. They just use that as a front. Christianity, basically, if they're Luciferians, like it's so obvious. Like it doesn't take a genius to figure out the forefathers were actually Masonic, Illuminati, whatever, Freemasons, whatever you want to call it, but they use God in God we trust. That was just all BS. In Lucifer we trust. They just got everybody on the bandwagon. What do you think, Neil?
Well, they say that when you get to that level, that's when there's no holds barred, and he
Yeah.
is the enlightened one, Lucifer.
Yeah, supposedly, yeah. In their mind, their delusional mind, they think that because it's a cult, eh? So they believe they get empowered when they become 32nd or a master mason is like the supreme, right? The master mason. He's supposedly like second to God, but that'd be Lucifer, obviously. But
The Grand Poobah.
yeah, the Grand Poobah, like in Flintstones. All hell, Grand Poobah. Yeah. Yeah, but George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, the whole works of Thomas Jefferson, they're all Masons. Like, United States was built on Masonic ritual, whatever. I don't know, what do you call it? Rituals or whatever. Like, and then they use God, like Christianity, as a front. Like, anybody can see that. Like, Neil, you see that, don't you? Like, look at how their their rights are getting taken away from the original Bill of Rights or whatever you call it in the United States. All the rights are being taken away, but they're just there just to gather the sheep, to get the sheep on board. In God we trust, and there's a lot of Christians back then, supposed Christians as a population before all the immigration and et cetera, and they are on board right away. But yeah, they're Masons. They had all these secret little rituals and meetings and all that sort of stuff to, it's like the Bilderberg group, more or less. They behind closed doors, they designed, what do you call it? They designed the structure of the future, like what's, whatever implemented. Anyway, yes, Neil, the forefathers were Masons, plain and simple. The UK, England, the royals, like you go back generations, they're Masons from way back. I don't know if they're called Masons, but yeah, their bloodline is basically Masonic or Illuminati, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if they have a special name for their people, but they're all connected. Illuminati, Masons, whatever, the skull and bones, blah blah blah. They're all affiliated. Yeah, they all have their little secrets, and they give each other sign. What do you call it? They have sign language. Uh, they give each other little, messages. They can by signing with fingers and the way they mannerisms and stuff. And Will Duffy has the mannerisms of a Mason. Uh, he's no pastor. He's a Luciferian. My God, that was so obvious. He looks like a demon. What do you think, Neil? Do you think so?
He's obviously not paying attention.
Hey, Neil, what do you think of Will Duffy?
No, I'm here. I'm just in a bad zone.
Oh yeah, okay, no problem. I was saying, what about Will Duffy? What do you think of him?
I asked
Yeah.
you about him.
Well, yeah, I
Shill or
told
not
you
to
he's a
shill?
Mason. He's a shill and a Mason. Yeah, he never paid for that trip. That was just a scam. The government fronted $500,000. Yeah, you kidding? He wouldn't fork out a dime. He was just sponsored to go. you know, who's going to pay $500,000 to bring a bunch of nutheads down to a fake South Pole? not even the South Pole. It was just some flat, snowy area near the coast of whatever's down there. It was nowhere near it. Those mountains, that mountain range there. That's the typical tourist area. All around that area, I don't know, about 100 square miles or something like that. That's the area that people are allowed to roam around or whatever, with permission. But on the other side of the mountains, if you keep going another couple 800, 600 miles, you'll run into guns. There'll be lots of warnings. So that whole trip was just a sham, and the government paid for it. You guys paid for it. The taxpayers pay for Shills. In essence, that's how it works out with NASA, Shills, paid trolls. It's all off the backs of hardworking Americans, the taxpayers. Same with the Canadian government. They pay for the Canadian Shills. There's sections. It's almost like a slush fund. They have a slush fund to pay these people. It's like a bottomless pit slush fund to pay Shills. They pop up 10 a day, 20 a day. You know what I mean? They could just, out of the woodworks, all of a sudden this guy comes in and he's like, he's a shill right away pretty well. But as far as the Masons, a lot of these shills aren't Masons, but Duffy is for sure. And David Weiss might be a shill, might be a Mason. I'm not too sure about that, but he seems to be a Mason. I don't know. What do you guys think? But Duffy is 100% a Mason, 100% shill, and 100% Luciferian in sheep's clothing or whatever, in wolf's clothing, whatever you call it. He's fake. He's a Luciferian. He probably prays to Lucifer when he goes home with his little red altar and his candles. Like, he just looks like that type. Yeah? What do you think?
I don't know what that type is.
Well, just look at his mannerisms. When he's talking, he's lying.
100% show. 100% Luciferian.
Well, that killed that conversation.
No, I had no reception. I was talking, but nobody was answering.
Well, it's fun though. Guessing who's a shill.
Well, there's no way to validate any of it, but their actions dictate what they are, like anybody else's. Where did Brian go anyway? He never came back?
I am, but I just came back a second. No.
You missed it. Did you catch guns, supposed guns of Navarone?
I just caught the very end of something there where somebody was had a red altar. I don't know. Tell me more. Was there something worth speaking about, or just?
He was letting us know who the shills are in the community.
And who are they?
We gave him one at a time. We went with what do you call it first? I don't know who we went first, but we covered them all. Patricia Sphere, Jaren Scampanella, and he declared them all paid shills. They didn't start out as shills, but they were approached and they were bought with a price. Mark Sargent, shill. Yeah, he pretty much, all the usual suspects, he deemed shills.
Well, I don't know why they're doing what they're doing. You could, your guess could be very likely correct to say they're paid or blackmailed or something, They're definitely doing it, whatever it is. And it definitely is not because of glow proof. Do you know what I mean? Is it because they found some glow proof? No, because it doesn't exist. So there has to be some other reason.
Yeah, the reason is money, Brian. It's all about the money.
Maybe so. Maybe it is. Whatever. I mean, the motivation behind this, I can't really state because I don't know. But what I can say is that on both sides of this argument, right, people on the globe side say there's no flat earth proof. People on the flat earth side say there's no globe earth proof. Now, the thing about that is this: only one side can be correct in that statement. Because you can't have globe proof and flat earth proof existing simultaneously. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't have something that's proof that the earth is flat and something else that's proof that the earth's a globe. You can't have those two things. So one of those things that are called proofs, a proof is not a proof. So there can only be either flat earth proof or globe earth proof. Now, after 10 years, whatever my opinion means to anyone, after 10 years in this subject, I can, hand on heart, absolutely state that the earth is, without a doubt, flat, stationary, enclosed, self-automated, and dynamic. Without a doubt. Now, I can state, hand on heart, that because I know those things, not believe, know, that there is no globe proof. If there was any proof for a globe, right, it would have been presented. Now, it was never presented, and I never expected it to be presented because I knew immediately 10 years ago the earth was not a globe. Point being is that I'm not just saying that there's no globe proof. There just isn't. So, to get back to what you're saying, Neil, whatever their purpose is for going against flat earth, whether it's money, whether it's blackmail, whatever, it isn't because they had globe proof presented to them, because they didn't have, because it doesn't exist. So it has to be some other reason. It's that simple, isn't it?
That's a good point. I didn't look at it like that. Yes, that's correct. Absolutely.
So the other reason doesn't matter then, does it? Whatever it is.
Nope.
Yeah.
You're right. There's no globe proof. So nobody could go and say, well, they presented me with proof, and what am I supposed to do? Just continue to lie about flat earth? No, you were never presented any proof. So that tells me you are a freaking paid shill. End the story.
Well, the thing is this, right? The TSA.
I think I lost. Hi,
now,
Brian, how are you there, my friend?
how you doing? I'm talking to Neil there, one second. The thing is, right, that the TFE thing, right? Now, there's too many issues with that for anyone to
Yeah.
put their stamp upon it and say that that is correct or that really happened or really there really was a 24-hour Antarctic sun. I myself have pointed out a lot of issues with that. The point is that
Yeah.
that is not proof for a globe, or it's not proof that there isn't a flat Earth. It doesn't do either. So it doesn't
Absolutely.
prove or disprove. So people
Yeah.
can't say, sorry, just get gone, sorry. Stop trolling me if you don't mind, please.
Yeah, Gun, just relax. Let Brian finish. Relax.
Yeah, I don't need someone going, yeah, okay, yeah, through me, and then treat me like I'm stupid, like I don't know what they're doing. It's so nobody can say that they were presented with the TFE and now they know that the Earth is a globe. Nobody can say that because it's not conducive. That does not prove a globe or prove a flat Earth or disprove a flat Earth. It not existing would disprove a globe, not geometrically. It would disprove a heliocentric globe. It wouldn't. It wouldn't disprove. It would disprove, maybe not geometrically, but it would definitely give it a major problem. Point being is that cannot be used as evidence for a globe or the debunk of a flat Earth.
Correct.
Yes, spot on. So that means paid.
Well, I don't know what it means. It could mean blackmail. It could mean that. Because do you think that someone like Jerome Campanella has lived a life of a scholar, an honest scholar? I don't think so. Do you think it's possible he got himself into trouble or did things he shouldn't have done and that could be getting used against him? That's possible. It's also possible he just got paid. It's also possible that the other people got paid or they're being blackmailed.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows why they do what they do?
Yeah.
But it's,
Yeah. Yeah, that whole thing was a farce. Like, it wasn't even necessary. They've been saying there's a 24-hour sun for like 10 years. So I don't know what the point was.
well, it certainly didn't prove a globe. That's the problem. It's not
Right.
globe proof. So that's the issue. They needed to be presenting globe proof. So because it's not globe proof, all they could say is it just can't happen on a flat Earth. But they haven't proven how it can't happen. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't
Yeah.
dictate the geometry of the world in any way. So consequently, it's a nothing burger. Even if it did happen, and
Yeah.
I have my doubts that it actually did happen.
I honestly think the videos were edited personally.
Well, all I would say is this. One of the team that was there, one of the people that was there that was called a flat earther, a guy called Jonathan Morande, who very obviously, when asked a few questions after the whole event, was very obviously not a flat earther. This guy is a special effects artist who works in
Yeah.
Hollywood. He's at the top of his game. I mean,
Absolutely.
give me a break.
Absolutely. Well,
You know what I mean?
my cousin was FX. Yeah, my cousin did jobs for NASA. Like he was a specialist in 5 departments, and I found out a lot of stuff that they did for NASA. Like they had dozens of FX people they hired over the years up until 2010 or something, when NASA got smart and decided to have their own department, their own FX department, and hire their own people because too many people talk, right? They had too many loose ends, so they decided to do it themselves. They had Disney and Hollywood for many years, right from 1958, to put out cartoons and etc. to fool us into the heliocentric system. Uh, Originally, they came on board right from day one, like Hollywood. with a space agency and Disney? Like, what would be the point? Like you said, I think you said, for advertising and all that, but no, a lot of it was for effects, visual effects.
Yeah, okay,
They
but
had it all
let's
planned.
just focus on TFE. Jonathan
Oh
Morandi.
yeah, okay,
What? Why did they
yeah.
say that he was a flat earther when he obviously was never a flat earther? He didn't know anything about the subject when asked about it. And like, why did they have to have a Hollywood? Why was there a Hollywood special effects guy there? That doesn't make any
Well, he
sense
was
to
hired.
me.
He
You
was
know
a
what I mean?
shill. He was hired
I
to
know he
do
was
that.
hired.
Yeah,
I know he was
hired.
hired. He was hired. That's like they admit that he was hired to do
What was his
certain
name?
work. Sorry,
What was his name?
Jonathan Morandi.
Jonathan Morandi. Shill or no shill?
Shill and editor. He was an editor, a film editor, and he doctored the footage. Like that. That's a no-brainer.
We
Like
can't
Brian
claim.
said,
We can't
he didn't
claim
know
he did
anything
that.
about
See,
flat Earth.
you missed it. You can't just make blanket claims, but you can speculate. I do find it
Right.
very strange that they had to say that this guy was a flat earther, and he said he was a flat earther for 8 or 9 years, which he wasn't. He was never a flat earther, very obviously. And
Well,
he
that
is a
was his
Hollywood
MO,
special
the cover.
effects.
His cover.
So
Yeah, that was his cover. Yeah, exactly. That was his cover. To appease
yeah, but
other flat earthers.
you're kind of missing the point.
Not really. He was hired to pretend to be a flat earther, and he didn't know anything about flat Earth because he was a special effects specialist, and he helped them pull off this hoax. They're really down there. They're really there. They're really there on the snow. But it's like the other things that fellow FX guy probably has fingers in to make it look like the sun was coming across the sky. Like there's effects for that, like AI. There's all kinds of things, right? Like it's unlimited now what they can do. But I think they're really down there, or I keep saying down there, but they're really on the snow and they're really on the edge of the Antarctica. I think they're really there. Personally, what do you think, Brian?
I don't know. I can't really comment on those kind of things. I can only speculate about some of the details. That's it.
Yeah, I just my speculation is that they're really there, but the FX. There's probably other people that were FX that helped the guy to fake the 24-hour sun somehow with screens or whatever they did, AI or whatever. Like they did something to fake it just to solidify, even though it didn't make any difference. It didn't prove flat Earth, but the normie baller doesn't know that. They think, oh yeah, gee, it proves we're on the globe. Like, and that's 95% of the population, right? So that's who they needed to fool to keep them, upgrade the position of Helios, the globe Earth. They just had to upgrade it like something new to keep the ballers on board because they don't know anything about flat Earth, whether that meant flat Earth or not. All they thought was it meant, oh, the world is rotating and the sun is going to cross the sky in a circular motion above them. So that means you're rotating. And that's what ballers think. But if that was the case, then it would be dark everywhere else on the globe. Like 99% of the globe, 80% of the globe would be dark if the sun was actually going over top, like in a circular motion or whatever, an oval type motion. That means the rest of the earth would be black and it'd be light.
Not in their paradigm. Not in their paradigm. In their paradigm, they can explain that.
Is everything okay? I'm paying attention to too many different things at once.
Not my request to be let in.
Oh, bloody
Not
hell.
paying any attention to that.
Sorry.
Thanks, Adam. Thanks. I'm glad you're here.
Uh,
Now, there's something for you to do with Nathan. My God.
just try again, Adam, and I'll let you in. Oh, there you go. I've let you in.
Afternoon.
Hey, Adam.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Right, I'll return to my pot noodle, editing a video about a Grundig mic and listing it on eBay, whilst semi-monitoring this flat Earth discussion you're not having while I'm doing three things.
Hey, what is the website for your mics?
It's called eBay. E-B-A-Y.
Oh, yeah.
You got it? Just need a pen.
Okay, I'll check that out.
Been around a while. So I hear.
And your little videos are pretty good. You know, your especially the mic ones are really good. But I mean, the one where you suggesting you get paid to go on the shows, that was a great advert.
Yeah, you can thank Ranty for that one. Anyway, no offense. I'm doing something else. That's kind of what I was trying to hint at. But thank you for engaging me specifically while I'm hinting that I'm doing three other things.
Question. Yeah. Quick question. Is Ranty stating he's a flat earther again or not?
Has Ranty dyed his hair purple?
Hi, Adam.
Afternoon.
Cheers, mate.
All right, fella. Yeah, I've only watched a little bit of that, and I've just because I did all the artwork, so it was nice to see my artwork again being used. But has he had an hair transplant and B then dyed it purple?
I haven't seen him, Adam, to be honest with you. I kind of don't care to see him. But he may have done that.
Well, you can see my level of care because it's about 8-minute video and I couldn't be asked to watch it. It was really... It went from ranty and then he puts Fight the Flat Earth on. I'm like, oh. And he starts to attempt the housekeeping question. That's when I paused and went, oh. Painful. Oh.
When he ripped off Roxanne or those super chats, that's when I really just despised him.
It's funny, isn't it? What's relevant to them? Nathan.
Yeah.
Honesty.
Oh, no, they demonstrated that's
honest.
no
Demonstrates
virtue they have any value in.
Yeah. Yeah, Nathan doesn't waver at all. Through thick and thin, he is direct and to the point and accurate and legitimate.
Don't know, it sounds like he's been flip-flopping on this book title a bit. I've caught a bit of the show.
Well, I think Neil had a good
idea.
But
Adam, doesn't it sound good? Welcome to Flat Earth? Come on, that sounds great.
Yeah, Neil hit the nail on the head there. Yeah, welcome to Flat Earth. It's the best title ever. And then, like you said, inside the sleeve, you could put all roads lead to Flat Earth. Like right as soon as you open the book. Yeah.
Adam, what do you think, Adam?
And then people will be intrigued. Yeah, and that'll be intriguing. People will be excited.
Holy
all roads.
Adam.
Yes,
the Adam Meekin.
Sorry.
I like it. I've got to be honest. I do like it.
I knew it.
Right on, Adam.
Very catchy. Very pertinent and poignant for us. So it's something, we say. But it is actually a very nice title.
And you can even put on the insert, like the back cover insert, snacks in the back, and the whole line that chocolate does. Oh, it's so clever.
Oh, yeah.
It should just be a picture of some snacks on the back page.
Yes, even better. And the DJ taking requests.
Oh God. Are you gonna have links to the songs in the book, like all the links to all those flat Earth songs? You know, like
What
"Where's the
flat Earth
Guns" and this
songs?
and that.
Oh, the ones that
You know?
QE plays. Yeah, those songs. Good. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
we have to
Yeah.
hold on. We have to run it by the number one boffin. What do you think he's going to say?
Yes. Well, I think he'll go for it,
Who's the number one
but
boffin?
there has to be. Yeah, there has to be like they have to be explained before they put the links. Like it
Robert,
has to
I asked you a
explain.
direct question, Robert. Who's the
Oh
number
yes, go
one
ahead.
boffin?
Who's the number one? Pardon me.
Who's the number one boffin?
Number one. I can't hear you that last word. It's muffled. I'm sorry.
All
Can you
right.
spell
Who's
it
the
out?
grand poobah? Who's at the top?
Nathan.
Who's the main
Nathan.
guy?
Oh, you mean on the Masons? Are you talking? What? Who are you talking about? Like Nathan, in charge of all of Flat Earth, FED, or are you talking
Yes,
about who's in charge of all the?
in our inner circle. Who's the top boffin? Who's the guy? Who's the main guy?
Uh,
Ah,
I'm
forget it.
not
We got to run it
understanding.
by QE. What do you think QE's going to say?
Oh yeah, the top, yeah, the Mr. Grouchy. He'll go for it, I think. He'll
His
definitely
name
want a
is
link for his
Grumpus.
intro. He'd want that in there for sure. His blues music. Yeah, I think QE will go for it because he always
I do
plays them on
too.
his intro. Yeah.
I think he's going to go for it.
Oh yeah, the Home Depot and
When I
the
seen it,
yeah. Exactly.
Adam, when I seen it in the chat, I was like, duh. Yes, of course. Why didn't we think of that?
Well, I don't have chat, but yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
It opens up the title, the book cover as well nicely, or not nicely, makes it even more open to
Did QE
suggestions.
like that title? Did QE like the title? Welcome to Flat Earth.
We don't know yet. We haven't run it by him. This is all new.
Oh,
It
okay.
just came by the
I thought
chat
you said he was in
yesterday.
the chat. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I missed most of yesterday. I missed the show anyway. I missed QE show on Tuesday as well. Was it any good? Okay, it's 3.5 hours long, so I might have to watch portions of it, I guess, today sometime.
It's the second half of the Ben Stein film review, so intelligent design.
Are you smarter than Ben Stein? It's Ben
Oh,
Stein's
definitely.
money. Are you smarter than Ben Stein? Do you remember that show he had?
I only know him from that, and I know he's a comedian or something, or somewhat or other in America.
Well,
But
he's a PhD professor in something, mathematics or something. But he had a show where if you're smarter than him, you'd win money. It was called Ben Stein's Money, or Are You Smarter Than Ben Stein? And nobody ever won. Like he was always smarter. Like he's very intelligent academically. So, and he was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He was his teacher with that monotone voice. when Ferris Bueller fell asleep in class and he was talking about economics or something, Ben Stein was calling Bueller, wake up.
Hold
But yeah,
on.
he was
Back up. Back up. Ferris Bueller
What?
did not fall asleep in class. He
Wasn't he
had the day
drooling, or
off.
was somebody? No, was somebody drooling in class on the desk? Was that
Yeah, but it
somebody
wasn't
else?
Ferris.
And Ben, yeah, but or was that Ben Stein was in that movie, right? He was a teacher, right?
Whoever the guy that was going, class, anyone,
Yeah, that's him, right?
class.
Yeah,
I don't
something
know.
economics, voodoo economics. Yeah, that was him, right? That was Ben Stein,
Yeah, it looks like the same guy from the movie. I was thinking the
and
same
he's
thing.
in.
It has to be.
Yeah, and he was in The Mask. Yeah, I remember now. Okay, he gets all these cameo appearances in movies. He used to, but he's actually an academic. Like he's actually a professor in something. And then he just got the acting gig on the side somehow. I don't know how he got in that, but yeah, he's perfect for certain roles in movies. Like the psychiatrist and the math teacher, and he just has that look in his voice, that boring voice, kind of like that one comedian with the last name Wright, kind of like that kind of a voice. Remember that comedian? Talk really slow, depressing. I forget his name. Something Wright. But Ben Stein is kind of like that with that voice, just that one tone. It's just like almost lulls you to sleep. If you had to listen to a seminar with him, you'd be sleeping in the first 5 minutes.
Have you been watching Mobland?
No, is it any good?
Absolutely. Freaking Tom Hardy is the best.
Yeah, he's a great actor. He was in the one with the brothers. Remember that other mob movie where he plays the twin brothers, mob
Yeah, that's
leader?
the
The name,
UK guys. What's their name? Ah, shoot.
yeah,
Got their
yeah,
names.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's great at those parts, eh?
He was in Peaky Blinders too, that show. My wife loved that
Oh,
show.
that's the other guy. Yeah, that was the other guy from
It was Tom Hardy too.
Oppenheimer. Yeah,
Tom Hardy was
Oppenheimer.
in it as
Right.
well.
No, Oppenheimer. He's the guy from Oppenheimer, and yeah, uh, yeah, he's the guy Oppenheimer or whatever that movie is. That's that guy, and he's in 28 Days. He's the patient that wakes up, but he's a lot younger than that's a Peaky Blinds guy.
Not
Yeah,
his name.
it's not
Cillian
Hardy.
Murphy.
You know who I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah, is that
He
Murphy?
was in
Cillian
Quiet Part
Murphy or
One.
something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he's a pretty good actor, but he's in 28 Days, running for his life.
28
I
Days
remember
Later,
that.
yes.
Yeah,
There's got
he's
to
in
be
that.
a
He's
government.
young.
I've just won
Yeah,
$100 off Ben Stein.
How?
How?
So Rayleigh Criterion just posted the show that you were talking about. So I've gone to it. It's like a
Yeah.
quiz show. First question. Yeah. Not giving the answer yet. I've just paused it. And it was non-inflatable sheet for $100. And it says, in Scotland, they cloned the first sheep. What was the name? Very
Dolly.
easy. Yeah, Dolly, you see.
Dolly.
$100. You've just won $100.
I've just won $100 by knowing Dolly was the first cloned sheep.
That's what that guy on the panel just, he must get it right. That's it.
Yeah.
Plus play.
He had a lot of trick questions that were easy. Like some of them were quite easy, but most of them were very difficult. Like that's almost like a trick question. Like, what was the name of the sheep that was cloned? Like everybody pretty well knows that, I think.
A lot of people might have said Lucy. Got it confused with the
Oh yeah,
evolution thing.
maybe yeah. Dolly was in Moonraker. Yeah. She had braces.
Let me know if you collect the Hyundai.
I never did watch that show, Ben Signs Money or whatever. It was just too boring. Did you watch Peaky Blinders, Neil? Did you watch that series?
I didn't watch Peaky Blinders. My wife did. She watched the whole thing. I couldn't get into
Yeah,
it. I tried, but
yeah. Is he really Irish in real life?
Tom Hardy?
Yeah, the guy who played the Peaky. He really is Irish, isn't he, or is he from England, from London or something?
You got to ask
Because he
the
plays an
UK
Irish.
gentleman that question.
Yeah, yeah, he plays Irish mob or something, or back in the day, the prohibition days, I think. I only watched a couple episodes, but I remember he had a brother that was sort of the boss, and he was outshining his brother. And I don't know if he becomes the boss or whatever. I didn't watch far enough, but he was smarter and what do you call it? He was more direct. Like let's take over this business. Let's take over this mob here. But the brother was more passive. Remember, older brother, and he ends up basically underlining his undermining his brother. If I remember correctly, I'm not sure, but I just remember that part of the series. And then the mom was the boss. Like she always uh, kept them in place, like scolded them if they murdered somebody when they shouldn't have murdered somebody.
Just be careful what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, yeah. Not life. Yeah,
That's not what I mean. I
not
just mean
yeah,
certain words will trigger the
yeah.
whatever.
Algorithms. Yeah, the censorship.
Yeah, like
The
instead
man.
of the M word, so they put one in his coconut.
Yeah, or lifeless or something. It made them lifeless. I don't know. But yeah, Mobland, I got to watch that, Neil. Now that you mentioned it, I saw the commercial, the ad for it, and Tom Hardy looks like excellent in that movie or that TV series. I mean, did you watch The Penguin at all? Did you see that series, The Penguin, with
No.
Colin Farrell?
Negative,
That was
negative.
excellent. It's excellent. I can't believe that's even Colin Farrell. The way the makeup and everything you put on him, the prosthetic, just it doesn't look like Colin Farrell at all. He looks like the Penguin, and it's perfect story. A different spin on it. I think maybe this is the actual s- story of the Penguin, as opposed to the one with Danny DeVito. I think that was kind of almost made up. I think. Uh, yeah. Oh, did you watch? Did you ever see Fargo? That series? Like it was like different seasons.
Negative.
Okay. I heard you mentioning something about Andor or whatever that show is. It's getting quite gay. Is that true?
Yeah, it's gay.
Yeah, I started to watch the first episode, and I just
Don't know why that killed the conversation, but fine. Whatever.
I think he got disconnected because he was in the middle of saying something. But, there's no ballers out there. What are you going to do, Nathan? We've declared that Earth is measured flat. No one can challenge a fact. So this is what we resort to.
Indeed.
Huey's here now. Let's run it by him if he heard any of the conversation about renaming the title Welcome to Flat Earth. The top boffin is here.
Right, as Eli started talking, we're going to end the show.
No, not yet. Eli, what do you think? Welcome to Flat Earth. Good, right? For the title of the book?
Yeah, I think it's a good title.
Hello, Eli.
It's a great title that none of us thought of. Go figure.
Hello out there in YouTube land.
Hey.
Cheers. And with that,
And with that, I will say another huge, massive, enormous thank you to both Discord and G Plus panels for making today's after show possible. And of course, a massive thank you to all of you for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, joining as a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member, and all that good stuff. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.